Hello. Set things up. So yeah, I'm getting, there's some guy who's interviewed some other DVD creators. He interviewed Scott Jund and shit. He wants to interview me, so why not, right? Why not stream it? That'd be a fun thing. He's gonna be interviewing me in like half an hour, so I just wanted to start. Where your retch go? People wanted me to unmod you because you were like banning a ton of people or some shit. Apparently last stream you were just like banning like a ton of people. Yeah, it's gonna be at 3 o'clock, so you can come back then if you want to. For now, I'm just I just like starting a little bit in advance. On Reddit, you know, I thought it'd be something to do in the meantime, just look at what people are saying. I don't know, dude, like, they said, like, my mods are saying you banned, like, fucking 7 people or something. Like, it's gonna be an interview. It's gonna be chill. It should be fairly chill. You shouldn't really ban anyone, honestly. The Reddit is okay. They have like some kind of interesting shit. I go to it every now and then. Okay, well, if you ban that guy, sure, but like I was told you were just like you were just like banning like just fucking. I'll give you another chance, but I was told you were just banning like a shit ton of people. Here, just don't like, even if someone's spamming, unless they're just like full on spamming like forever and ever and ever, just like time them out, don't ban them. I want it to be a pretty unfiltered chat. All right, fine. I could always use more mods, so it's just like, yeah, I just wanted to know what was going on with that. Yeah, no, DVD Twitter's really fucking bad. I've been messing around there a little bit. There's just really fucking annoying people on there. Just every day is like a new discourse of like some clip where it's like oh, look at this. Oh, this is what this clip represents. Oh, you should have done this. Oh, you should have done that. Like, yeah, it's just it's bad. Yeah, it's just, if someone's like literally just doing nothing but spamming, then go for it. Okay, I guess I'll just like look at this shit while I wait. It's gonna be about 20 minutes. I think he's just gonna ask me generally questions on like the game and stuff like that. Just like questions on the game, questions on, you know, how I got into the game. So it should be a lot more chill than my debates. Yeah, it should just be like something fairly standard. So do people actually want Jaws and Dead by Daylight? Like, they really want. Does this really fit? I mean, I've heard people want Darth Vader in it now, so. Makes no sense. See, they sort of make fun of the circle jerk here. It's not too bad. A dev said they will completely remove slugging and tunneling. I don't know how they completely remove it, but yeah, I've heard about that. It's like, if they're gonna balance the game around 12 hooking, then that's good. I'd love nothing more than just 12 hook in DVD. It's the most fun way to play by sure. It's the most fun way to play by far. Growth Leader would need a huge nerf. I mean, they have Vecna in the game. Apparently Vecna's, like, insanely powerful. So... yeah, they tried Unbreakable Base Kit on a PTB. It did not work out. Balance it around new players. Okay. Where did you hear this? Did they, like, have a, did they have a, little, like, well, it was on the forums? I'm talking about Kaneki again. People are still bitching about Kaneki so much. I like this. I like this. I saw this. Yeah, nothing crazy here. AI voice lines. I've never heard someone talk about this. You know, I heard someone saying that there's somebody on Twitter saying that Rablax, like the animator, uses AI, and I was like, oh, that sucks. Like, here, this fucking thing's buffering. My brain rot's buffering. It was like, I was like, oh, that, you know, oh, that sucks. Like, he's actually using AI, like, to animate. But no, it was like they were talking about, they're trying to cancel him over using AI for, like, a singular shot of, like, Meg's mouth and, like, his Ghostface video. Like, here, let me find it. It's so nothing. Like, they already want to cancel over nothing. I think it's, like, maybe here? Yeah, here it is. Here it is. Is he Samimation, actually? Is he genuinely Samimation? I've heard that he might be. Did he really just... He animates it a completely different way. Is there any proof of that? I'm actually very curious, because I don't know what happened to Samimation. Yeah, look, it's this shot right here. This shot. They use AI for this shot of, like, Meg's mouth. And they're trying to cancel because she's like mouth breathing and body blocking him at a pallet. Like, it's a singular shot right here. They're trying to cancel him over this because this is AI. Like, you want to get a real shot of someone's mouth? He was exposed on Twitter for being Samimation. Was there any actual proof that it was him though? For now, it just seems like hearsay. And why did Samimation get like canceled anyways? Didn't something happen with him? Some bullshit happened with Samimation, right? I remember I kind of stopped watching him because he just started re-uploading like older animations just over and over again for just more money. I thought it was kind of disingenuous and stupid, so I just kind of stopped watching him because of that. Samimation used to go by Rablats? Well, if that's the case, he's not trying to hide it then, right? I really want to know why he got like canceled or whatever, like what actually happened to him. It's like a decade ago. What the fuck happened with this channel? That's hilarious if like the only other DVD animator we got is also just happens to be Samimation. I know Samimation got sort of shit on for using AI in his animations as well. Someone was like complaining about that. Yeah, he just sort of started re-uploading like his older animations just for more views. He almost had 1 million subs. Holy shit. Is this all people are talking about? Is Darth Vader coming in now? And Jaws and blah blah blah. God damn it! I feel like time just goes slower when I'm on the DVD subreddit. I just want to get interviewed. Has your best YouTuber list changed? I don't know. I still have Rablats on there because I like his content. It doesn't really take a... If he's Samimation, it doesn't really take anything away from his animations being funny. Who's interviewing? It's a dude who, it's a guy who's interviewed, like, Scott John and a few other creators. This is started from the TF2 subreddit. Yeah, it's not great. I was thinking, I was thinking of saying, or having, my... God, I can't fucking think. I was thinking of making a video just going over the most controversial posts on the DVD subreddit. You can't sort by controversial anymore, right? Yeah. You have to go to... Yeah, it looks so much worse, but you can still sort by controversial on these. I think if you take it here, it takes you to the post, right? No. Yeah, this looks like shit. Is there any way to view sort by controversial besides using old Reddit? Yeah, here it is, controversial. Is it like controversial of all time? Yeah, it's about Darth Vader. Here it is, yeah, all time. What's the most controversial post? Oh, it's this one! I remember seeing this one. This is actually the most controversial of all time. Can't save solo queue no matter what buffs or nerfs are given. So they have like Coomer shit on the right, and then they're like standing at the basement stairs doing nothing. Have you guys ever seen this? It's so... Yeah. He's just not... This guy needs help unhooking everyone. He's just waiting here. Not helping. Still going. Just not doing anything, like, as their whole team dies. Yeah. So they blame solo queue on that. That's the most controversial post of all time, I guess. On the subreddit. Can imagine Darth Vader getting bullied by Nancy. Yeah, I hope he's strong, at least. I don't know if that's the next chapter or what. Let's see, what is this? 1 month ago. This is 1 month ago. This is one of the most controversial of all time. This is long as fuck. Oh, it's just like survivors get buffs and shit. It's like nerf speed haste because of yeah, I get it. I get what this guy's saying. Us versus them, blah blah blah. I mean, I kind of get what he's getting at here with the double standards. Yeah. Dude, honestly, I feel like this isn't even a bad point. I feel like it's genuinely just because so many people play Survivor, they're not going to hear this. Because there's just like way more people playing Survivor than Killer, statistically. Anti-tunnel perks. Like a killer perk that helps you tunnel better. Are there any killer perks that help you tunnel better? There's like, I don't know, Floods of Rage, kinda, because it shows everyone. That's like all I can think of. The solo queue experience to cope with any skill issue, yeah. A lot of killer perks are based around not tunneling. Like, make your choices just the exact opposite. It's like, you need to be far from the hook and you have to go for the person who unhooked. So it's like anti-camping, anti-tunneling. There are perks that help with going to... Yeah, the guy getting the unhook. Yeah, like, make your choice and shit. Maybe, Save the Best for Last is kind of a tunnel perk, but it's not, like, actually a, it's not actually a perk that, like, encourages it. Like, it's not like its only use, you know? Or, like, what the best thing it's good at. This is probably going to be a fairly short stream, by the way. I actually have another thing planned. After all the I do the interview, is I want to talk to TitanofTheMind, if you know who that is. I'm thinking of making a video. He strongly believes that SWF is cheating in DBD, which I could see it, honestly, like, because his definition of cheating is like something that gives a third-party advantage that you can't get anywhere else. TitanofTheMind stuff. It's just we're just gonna talk, basically. I think he's really fun to talk to. Does the subreddit ban you as fast as the forums? I don't know. I don't use the forums really. But yeah, basically, I want to talk to him about just whenever we talk about DBD. It's always fun. So I thought it'd be fun to do on stream. You know, I think he's streaming it too. He's just like a friend of mine. But yeah, he's gonna lay out a lot of points that I might possibly make into a future video. If you saw the poll that I made on YouTube, let me show you. Yeah, this one, yeah. So, yeah, this is, like, the video. I'm making this one eventually, why SWF is cheating. Just, like, even if I disagree with him, I just want to go over the idea. SWF is cheating is a crazy take. That's what I thought, too. Because it sounds stupid, but he has, like, a lot of really compelling arguments where I hear it, and I'm like, you know, like, he's kind of right in a few ways, like... Plus, the idea, the title, Why SWF is Cheating in DBD, is, like... just a really good title. It's gonna piss a lot of people off, regardless of the points. But I'll have to see. Just SWF. No, he means comms. He basically means comms are cheating. Like, cause comms just gives you, like, he went over like how many perks it gives you. Base kit, like base kit bond, base kit kindred, base kit better together, base kit not vigil, visionary, all that shit. Like. He's like, you know, I'd love to play killer and have someone running around and telling me where all the survivors are, you know, like, it actually kind of makes sense the way he words it. Because the game was never built around having comms. And it's like, if you play in SWF, you shouldn't be ashamed or anything. I play in SWF all the time. It's just, I basically don't play solo queue much anymore. Because it's just, I can't stand it. I don't play Survivor much anyways. I play mostly killer, but, it's not like you should be, like, frowned upon for playing in SWF. It's just, the more you think about it, SWF it on comms is genuinely kind of the same as cheating in a lot of ways. Because it's a third party, like, it's not bannable. That's the main difference, is that it's not bannable. It's like teaming up in Valorant with a squad. Is that how you're meant to play? The difference is that Valorant has built-in voice chat. Just let him explain it. He explains it really well. But, yeah, he basically just... what's my cat's name is Wesley. I actually go over him in an old-ass video. Yawning cat I use. Yeah, this is for my GD era. This is like an old ass video. I just go over who Wesley is. 40k views. I don't think it get that much. But... yeah, I think this video would probably still. It's like text to speech probably though.
I think it's about time for me to make a short
yeah, this is when I use text to speech and subtitles.
So this cat, yes, this cat is my cat. His name.
My old. Look at that fucking... I didn't even realize how low quality that shit was. It's like my old Geometry Dash ship. Which is 8 years old. How old am I? I'm 22. I'm gonna read this one out loud. My favorite killers? Singularity is my favorite killer. You know, I actually might make a video on, you know, I made, like, why I hate Blight in his player base. Maybe I'll just make a video on why I love Singularity in his playstyle. I'm just, like, explaining what I love about his, like, surveillance playstyle and all the shit he can do and all that. Bioshock 1 in the corner? Yeah, maybe. I don't know if you want it. $5 for Brain Rot, if you want it. Can you go over Samation if you haven't already? I haven't. I'm gonna talk about him in the DBD Graveyard. Or maybe I won't, now that apparently he's Rablats. So I don't know. I need to do more research on if he's Rablats or not, or if there's proof of that or any of this shit, because that's crazy if he is. The dates kind of line up for when he quit and when Rablats started making stuff. But video on macro setup killers in general, yeah, dude. What the fuck even is a setup killer at this point? Like, Hag and Trapper, and that's it. Like, some people say Skull Merchant and Singularity, but they can set up their power really quickly. I want more trap killers like that, man. Rablats is amazing. Yeah, I really like his stuff. He's on the list. I know I haven't uploaded in a bit. It's been like a week. Sorry. It's like I've been dealing with, the Discord opening and a few IRL things, and I've just been like addicted to Elden Ring Night Rain. But the video should be out maybe tomorrow. Top 5 best DVD YouTubers should probably be out tomorrow, and then I'll prioritize uploading it. I mean, I don't think weekly uploads are what I'm aiming for. I just happen to upload a lot. I was gonna upload the Scott John debate, but he uploaded it himself, so it's like I don't really see a reason to. He gets to constantly chase. Yeah, like I like his chase power. It's fun. Like the being able to eat pallets because I hate pre-dropping. Being able to catch up quickly because I hate Shift W. Just all that shit's fun. But I just love his his macro gameplay of the cameras and shit. It's just so unique. Like, what other killer people are like, oh, what unique killers can they make nowadays? Like, you could say every killer is just a combo of 2. Like, what could you compare Singularity to? Like, Hag? Because he teleports? Like, he's so unique. He's my favorite killer, definitely. He's also just really fucking good as well. He's just strong as fuck, so it's just like, he's an easy killer I can just flock to if I'm just like, I just don't, I just want to fucking win, He also has really, really fun add-ons as well. Like, almost all of his add-ons are useful except for, like, maybe 4 of them. 4 of his add-ons are kind of... He has, like, ones that are, like, when you teleport to someone, your terror radius is smaller or something. It's like, eh. Or no, that's when you slipstream, so that's not terrible, but still, it's like, I don't know, he has some add-ons that are just kind of whatever. Also, he still has a pretty low pick. I thought I had an account. Did I not see the stats? Windows. He's still the highest pick rate killer, really? Blight's number 5? No way. Over Legion's higher than Blight? I mean, I know this isn't super accurate, but still, it's vaguely accurate. I never thought I'd see the day. I do like Kaneki a lot, but in my video, like, ranking how much I hate you based on your killer player or main, I still have him very, very high. He's like, the people who play Kaneki and main him are like super cringe, even though I really like him too. Ghostface. Spirit at number 10. I would not have expected that. Again, these stats aren't fully accurate, but yeah, we're Singularity. He's like way higher than he used to be. He's like actually kind of in the middle now. He used to be like the lowest. This doesn't work, obviously. Twins, Hag, Soul Merchant, Cenobite. It's funny, Cenobite's removed from the game and he still has a higher pick rate than these guys. We're all killers you can buy with Eerie Shards. I fucking wish Hag was good, man. Hag was my first main, actually, technically. I would fucking love if Hag was better. She needs to be, like, updated to evolve with the game. Asuno is such a cringe piece of shit. Is that the guy who people thought were view-botting, but they thought he was view-botting? Could someone explain to me why my friend simps over the pig lady from Saw? I don't play DVD. I mean, it's just Amanda from the Saw series. It's just a conventionally attractive woman who just wears a pig mask. It's just... That's literally it. It's just like someone simping over just any character, basically. In the game, though, in DVD, the people who, like, play pig and are, like, I don't know, it's because of her, like, stun noise and shit. It's kind of cringe. It's kind of fucking cringe. He's a piece of shit on stream? What does he do on stream? All I know is he was, like, she's an old lady now. Yeah, dude, she's Shaween Smith, or whatever her name is. She's she's in a new game called Tormentor, which is kind of interesting. She's voice acting in a new game. It's like a really, really fucking edgy looking game. It's like basically like torture people on the dark web. Okay, I think the guy's contact me. He wants to interview me. Yeah, I think for this guy's sake, I'm not gonna call him my server.
Hello?
Hey.
Yeah, what's up, man? How you doing?
I'm good, I'm good. I was just looking at, like, pick rates and shit, just, like, killing time.
Oh, okay. Alright. Thanks for agreeing to do this interview. Appreciate ya.
Yeah, I think it'd be fun. I've never really done something like this before. There was another guy who also wanted to, but... Yeah, it's just... I just thought it'd be fun. Like, how long do you think this is gonna take, you think? Like...
However long you have, I'm flexible, you know.
Okay.
If you got somewhere to be, I'll cut a few questions off.
I don't really. I just wanted to know.
I got like 14 questions here I thought of,
Sure.
But you know,
so
if that's good.
DVD and shit, right?
Yeah, about DVD, kind of your content, you know, kind of what I'm doing for everybody that I'm trying to interview. Just, I have some generic like questions I ask everybody, and then kind of a few personalized, content-based questions.
Okay.
So I guess we'll just start off with what I want to ask everybody. You know, your username, and if there's any backstory to that. What made you think of that?
I don't know. My name's been River Siver, like, since the beginning of time. Like, my name's River. That's my name. So it's just like, I guess when I was a kid, I think the first thing I named it was my after it was my Minecraft account. I named it River Siver. I don't know why.
Yeah.
That's just kind of been my name on the internet forever. So I just, you know, I thought why not stick with it? Like, it's catchy enough, I guess. So
yeah, definitely.
There's really nothing to it. It's just like most names on the internet are pretty esoteric, anyways. So it's just based off my name.
Oh, I thought I asked. Everyone, you know, has different answers, whether it's just their name or like, you know, the backstory to it.
There's really not that much. It's really just like 10-year-old me was just like, this name sounds cool. Like, it's my name again.
Yeah, definitely. All right. Well, I guess my next one would be what originally drew you into Dead by Daylight, and what keeps you coming back to it now?
I started playing Dead by Daylight in 2020 after Pyramid Head came out. And that was because I had a friend who I met from an online friend who I met from the GD server I made forever ago, who introduced me to it, and he's just like, "Oh, this game could be fun. We could try it." You know, we were like playing Overwatch around that time, a decent amount. We just played like all sorts of shit basically, and he was just like, "You know, I played this game a decent amount. Like, I think you'd like it. It's really unique." And yeah, I basically just fell in love with it immediately. Like, I was drawn to how like unique it was.
Yeah.
And yeah, I basically just I mainly played Survivor at first with him, just like normal Survivor games, and I was just drawn to how unique every game was. Like, every time it was a different killer, every time it was a different map. Like, there were so many different perks you could use. So yeah, I was really, and then I started playing Killer, and I was like, oh my god, there's so much more to this game, you know?
Yeah.
So that, yeah, it's just a friend, Shock. I don't really talk to him anymore. I talk to him every now and then on iMessage, but yeah, I just, he sort of got me to the game, and we just played for a while.
Nice. What about, like, what made you start doing YouTube about it? Because I know you started, was it Geometry Dash, right?
Yeah, I started DBD fairly recently. I sort of did Geometry Dash for a couple years back in the day when I was like 13, 13, 14, like when I was like just like in middle school, high school, like I was just making like GD shit because I was into the game. But eventually I just got burnt out because it's just not a very versatile game at all. So I just sort of stopped making stuff, and I came back like a little bit ago and just made like random shit, and then I just sort of I just was on and off. But I just thought DBD would be like a really good game to, because I really like talking about it in the community. I think it's really interesting, and it's also just it's like a game that still has a niche to fill. Like it's not like a game like, I don't know, you try to make Marvel Rivals content. It's just, that's not going to ever work. Even, you know, I don't really like the game anyways, but
yeah.
If you just make content, it's like a good game that still has value. Like, not that many people really edit their videos much in the community, so I thought making heavily edited opinion pieces would be like something I could fit into, and it seems to be working fairly well. Like, some of them have, I think my DBD Most Miserable Community video has nearly 40,000 views, which is like, that might have seemed like a whole lot, but that's like good numbers for me compared to the shit I was making when I was just making shit about YouTube in general or just gaming, just random shit I felt like making. Like it wasn't doing that well, and I also just was kind of getting sick of like the YouTube metagame anyways. So I was just like, I'll just make DVD shit, like.
Yeah.
And I still have like.
Did you always have? Oh, sorry.
I have way more ideas of shit I'm gonna make as well. I haven't uploaded in like a week just because I've been dealing with like managing the server, and I've been really addicted to like Elden Ring Night Rain and just playing it with a lot of people. So
yeah.
I've just been like, but I'm gonna make top 5 best DVD YouTubers. Probably tomorrow is when that will come out. Probably. I'm not gonna promise it, but definitely the next day. If not, just like, yeah. So yeah, what was your next question?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, so you've been playing for like what? Pyramid Head came out like 5 years ago, right?
Yeah.
Did you always have the opinion of like kind of like other content isn't like the greatest? Did you always have that opinion, or was it kind of sudden that made you make that top 5 video?
I mean, I didn't have that opinion right off the bat. But when I just started analyzing it more and more, like maybe it started festering around like 2022 when I was just like, I was like, damn, there's like nothing. Like DBD is like more of a Twitch game, I guess. Like more people play it on Twitch. I compare it to TF2. How TF2 is like more of a YouTube game. Like no one really Twitch streams that game, but they make content on it. And TF2 content has its own problems, but it's just interesting that some games sort of end up as games that people stream, and other ones end up as more content. But yeah, the content in general on DBD is just kind of like lame. Like I don't want to make my whole content just talking about how I hate it. I've made a couple videos, and I think I'm kind of done with that for a bit.
Yeah.
I mean, my next video is literally top 5 best DVD YouTubers, but yeah, that's. I guess right off the bat, it was just everything was so new when I was playing DVD at the start, but I started realizing eventually just how repetitive it is and how there's just nothing like to talk about. There's nothing new. There's no effort really. So it's just kind of where I formed that opinion.
All right. Well, that was kind of just a few general questions. Now we're gonna move on to like kind of your content. I'd say your content, you're not afraid to call out issues, whether it's in game or community.
I mean, I'm honestly surprised you're even talking to me, considering I'm kind of like infamous already, just for like talking shit about people. So.
Yeah, well, you haven't like, in my personal opinion, you haven't done anything too crazy. I mean, no, all I do is just share my opinion on the game and the my controversial opinions on the game and shit. You said a few things that I don't fully agree with, but like that doesn't mean we have to be like enemies and like I hate you. Like I respect your opinion. I'm willing to hear. Have discussion about shit, because that's what my videos do. Is like a lot of videos are just like this Springtrap build destroys survivors, and there's nothing to analyze and there's nothing to talk about. That's what I like with my videos. Is even people like you who are cool with me still have things to say, like, oh, I don't agree with this, I don't agree with that. It's like, because I actually want to have like actual opinions, because some of my friends don't agree with what I say about Springtrap, for example. If like my whole thing around that was kind of like, I guess that was my most recent controversy, you could say, is just people really not liking what I had to say about Springtrap. Yeah. But, well, people say Springtrap is good, and people disagree with that. So like everyone's entitled to their own opinion. But what I was getting at with basically like, what motivates you to speak so openly, even if it is because I feel like no one else does. It's really a niche I could fill into, and that's kind of always how I've been. Like I've always been a pretty unfiltered person. Not nearly as much in real life, obviously, because fucking hurting someone's actual feelings in real life fucking feels a lot worse than online. But online, it's like you can just do it. You can say whatever the fuck you want. Like I don't care about hurting people's feelings and saying it how it is. So. Or not how it is, but how I feel it is, Like, I feel like everyone's so filtered in this community. Everyone just, like, wants to go by the common consensus that they just don't have... Like, when Springtrap comes out and he's lame and he has a recycled power, no one's gonna say that. They're just gonna be like, oh my god, it's Springtrap, dude! Like, they're not gonna say... Even if they truly believe that, they're not gonna say it. Yeah. Yeah, I do agree with that to a certain extent. Absolutely. I don't know why you got so much, like, backlash for your opinion that Springtrap isn't... great. Like I think that's completely fair. Like, sorry to interrupt, but I think it's less. No worries.
how my opinion, how I presented it, because I do present it in a pretty like pompous, obnoxious way, and that's kind of just how I am. Like you gotta get used to that.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
so I get people saying that like it's it's not your opinion, it's just you being an asshole, and it's like, okay, fair enough. Like it's still what me hurting their feelings shouldn't really take away from my actual thoughts and points though. You know.
Yeah, I get that. How do you balance being critical of a game while still enjoying it enough to keep making content about it?
Because I just really like the game. Like regardless of what happens in the game, it could always be better. I mean, even the bigger creators criticize the game and, what could be better about it. And, blah, 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 like, SWF is too strong, or, this perk's too good, or this killer's too good, or whatever. Like, I feel like, I want to say stuff that other people don't say. Like, if Springtrap was actually good and like faithful and unique, I wouldn't have made a video on him at all. I probably wouldn't have made any video unless he was like really interesting and I was like, oh my god, this is insane. Like, and I thought I could say it because I always want to have something. Like, I always want to have something I can add. If there's nothing I can add, then I won't say anything. So the normal everyday talking points about oh, Kaneki bad, or, whatever people are talking about now. Darth Vader doesn't belong in TPD is what people are talking about right now, apparently. Like, that type of shit, it's like the normal talking points. It's like, if I don't have anything I can add to the conversation, I probably just won't talk about it or make a video. But,
yeah.
When it comes to, something like, Kaneki, my first real DBD video was my Kaneki video, where I talked about just stop crying about Kaneki, because a lot of people were just complaining about him, and I think, like, yes, he's very strong, but there's just much more broken killers in the game that are even easier than him, like Blight and shit. And it's like, if Blight is allowed to exist and be based according to everyone, then why can't we have another strong killer? And now Kaneki's gotten nerfed enough to the point where he's still... I think they honestly did... They did fine with the nerfs. Like, I actually think it was pretty good. It's just the double standards are funny. Like, he breaks a pallet and loses, like, his entire power, but Blight can do that and just catch him immediately. Like, I find the double standards funny, but the actual nerfs they gave him were fine. Like, I think he's still good. I don't know why they reduced the range of his, like, actual attack, the tentacles, like, from 16 to 14. They made his, like, range worse. I don't really know why, but besides that, I feel like everything else was pretty justified. Like, but shit like that is like Kaneki coming out in the comment consensus being like, oh my god, he's so OP, oh my god, he's so broken, even though he's a new killer and no one knows his counterplay yet. Like, I felt like I had something to say there, Like, I always want to have something to say in situations like that, basically.
Yeah, so, basically, like, there's nothing new to add. You don't really consider adding it. That was kind of my next question. Like, what do you kind of decide what, like, is worth making content about?
Yeah, just something I feel like I can say something that I can add, Like, if the community is going on about something, like, for example, if I was around in 2023 and everyone was making Skull Merchant bad videos, I wouldn't have made one, probably, because, like, I get the idea. Like, Mint Skull made a 30-minute video that was very concise about that whole thing that I like. Just talking about everything wrong with her, like, why her design sucks, why her visuals suck, why her lore sucks, like, literally everything that sucks about her, why she's only good at 3-genning, why she's bad at everything else. So if someone else made a video like that, regardless of what I think about Skull Merchant, who is still a killer I just find incredibly lame, because that's an opinion I share with a lot of people. It's like, most people are just like, yeah, Skull Merchant's lame. Like, she's so weak now that you feel like you're bullying her as Survivor, and she's like the killer I'd play the least, because she has no power. So, but even before that, it's like, I never really played her. I never really found her that interesting. Even though I like macro killers a lot, I just found her whole playstyle of having one button that just sets down a drone and that's all you can do is really shallow. And then when they reworked her to have the scan lines, I thought she was a bit more interesting. I played her a little bit more, but still, it's yeah, like, if everyone back then was making, Skull Merchant bad, and there was the whole 3-gen situation with CM9I and all that shit, like, I have nothing to add to that. If I had an opinion, if it was my genuine thoughts that, oh, Skull Merchant's overhated, she's actually good, like, she actually has a skill ceiling, she actually has counterplay, 3-genning is healthy. If I actually had those opinions, I would have made a video on it, if I existed back then. But back then I was like, no, I was like, with everyone else, I was like, yeah, this is stupid.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I guess this next one is either, like, kind of personal, or, like, if you do have an opinion that is kind of with everyone else, that's fair too. Is there a moment or update in DBD's history that you feel was a turning point, either for better or worse?
Yes, absolutely. I'm pretty sure most people would say this, but patch 6.1.0 is, like, probably the one that comes to mind. And, that's actually the one that got me back into the game. I was thinking of making a video about the worst period of DBD, which in my opinion was 2021 to 2022 was like the worst period of DBD, and that's why I didn't.
I agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah, because that's like I get like 2017 the game was way more imbalanced and shit, but like 2021 to 2022 is when the game was like incredibly survivor favored when they added dead hard hit validation. So pretty much everyone was just playing Blight and Nurse like every game. Cheaters were a huge issue. They just introduced SWM, skill-based matchmaking, and it was like it was way too harsh. So like every game was just like a comp tournament. And the game balance was horrible. Like, you think it's bad now. It was so bad back then. I know it wasn't as bad as it was in 2017 or whatever, but for how modernized the game was and how optimized it was, it's like having shit like Dead Hard on every survivor, and it was just a nightmare, like, to deal with this killer. And just, the game was just... And then weak-ass killers like Dredge were coming out around that time, and Sadako, that just no one could play against even halfway decent teams, because everyone just ran Dead Hard, and it's like... that was the time I didn't play Dead by Daylight for like a year, basically. It was around the time Pinhead came out, and they introduced SBMM, and there was like all these issues with NFTs as well. Like there was that whole controversy. Like it was just a terrible time for the game. So 6.1.0 coming around and giving killers an overall buff, and nerfing Dead Hard, and just all that shit. Like that's what made me come back to the game. Because I'm basically 70-30 when it comes to Killer Survivor. I am a Killer main, but I do play Survivor a decent amount too. And obviously that patch had its own issues, like Eruption, and the Gen Kick meta was terrible for the game. But that patch I feel like was like kind of like the break, because they reworked 40 perks and had like a whole they had base kit gens take longer, basic hit animation is shorter.
Was that the medkit change too?
No, that was a little bit later. That was actually like
that was later. Oh.
Yeah, that one was the one after where they fixed a lot of things that were wrong with 6.1.0. Like they nerfed all the gen shit, and they nerfed Dead Hard to only work when you get hooked.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, so that was also a really, really good patch, that one afterwards, but the one where they reworked like 40 perks, just killed a lot of killer shit like Tinkerer existing. People don't remember how common Tinkerer used to be, where it would activate over and over and over again, but now it only activates once per gen. It's still okay, but like that was like that was hard meta. No one ever talks about that.
I totally forgot about that. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like every game. Like it was really good on like high mobility killers as well. So like Tinkerer was like one of the most. It was like literally every game was like basically Ruin Undying Barbecue Tinkerer back in 2020, and then when they nerfed Ruin Undying in 2021, but didn't nerf some of the Survivor shit until way later, which is funny.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Alrighty. If you could. Oh, sorry. Go on.
No, you go.
Oh, I was just gonna ask the next question, but if there's something else you want to add to that one.
No, basically nothing else. I just like that's the update I basically think is like the most important update in the game's history. Besides like huge shit like the end game collapse being added, but I feel like that update is modern Dead by Daylight basically. Like afterwards, like because the Survivor animations and the HUD change happened like a year before that, so.
Yeah, I remember that one.
The Realm Beyond update, I feel like that was like the last update of like modern DVD, and that's kind of where we are now. And I feel like the game's been in a much better balanced state since then. There's still been issues like made for this, for the people buckle up, Ultimate Weapon. There's been issues, but nowhere near. It's been nowhere near as bad. Like I feel like it's just been the devs have been focusing a lot more on getting the game to a more balanced state, which. I remember that was the patch that people came out and said, like, oh, the game's too balanced now, it's not fun anymore. It's like, what do you want, then? Like, these are the same people bitching about Ruin, and then it gets nerfed, and they're like, the game's, like, it's too balanced now, I can't do my broken Dead Hard for distance garbage, so,
Yeah. What do you think of the whole animation, like, in the Realm Beyond changes? Because me, personally, I'm, a sucker for, like, nostalgia, and I miss it, but you think that was important to the game's success where it is now?
Yeah, like, I understand, like some people who played the game back in the day like the old Survivor movement more, but it doesn't make a huge difference in my opinion. And, the HUD is a lot better. When they first released the HUD, where it was like a mobile game HUD with like shit on all parts of the screen, it was like so bad.
Yeah, that was garbage.
I don't know what the fuck that was, but, the HUD now is good. It's really good. There's no real issues with it.
I more miss the maps, honestly. I think they were atmospherically better. You know?
Yeah, a lot of people say that, but it's just for gameplay and accessibility. The reason why Cold Wind is so fucking bright now, for example, like,
Yeah.
honestly, it just works better gameplay-wise. But I get it, honestly. I did play. I even played on like old Gideon, like just barely. It was like when I joined the game, it's like when they were really starting to change that shit around.
Yeah.
I played. I don't remember when Gideon Meat Plant got reworked, but I definitely played on old Gideon Meat Plant a decent amount of times.
I believe that was right with the animation change. I think that was a part of it.
I thought it was maybe a little.
That and the whatever the other one was. They changed 2 maps at that time. I forgot. I think it was Yamoka.
Yeah, it was Yamaoka. Yeah, I barely remember old Yamaoka. Like, it looks kind of similar, just looks better now.
It was dark. Yeah.
Dark, yeah.
It's very dark. If you could sit down with the devs for a full hour, what's one topic you insist on talking about?
Ooh, that's a good one. That's a good one. You know what I would talk about is they're talking about this whole anti-camp, anti-slug, all this shit, right? I honestly I want them to push the game towards incentivizing hooking unique survivors and not tunneling, because like I find the gameplay of going for multiple hooks and chases and shit just way more fun. But honestly, sometimes tunneling is just the best option. Like, you just have to sometimes, especially against really sweaty teams. Like, you just have to sometimes. And sometimes you get punished for not tunneling, which is like the worst feeling in the game. To get like 8 hooks and still lose. So I want like I remember True Talent actually had this whole system where it was like the suffering system that he talked about, where it's like oh, you know, killers can like the entity likes having multiple victims, so for each time a unique survivor is hooked, you get a bonus to like gen regression or something. Because like that's another issue is the game kind of feels built around the killer running at least 2 slowdown perks, like because base kit gen speeds are just too fast, especially if you're playing a lower tier killer. So I feel like that's a good all-in-one solution. Is like, you know how a lot of people don't know this, but in 2v8 the gens go slower if you're losing as killer.
Do they?
Quicker if you're winning. Yeah. So like it would be a good idea to maybe just have overall gen speed get increased or decreased based on like for a you know, if the first survivor is hooked, maybe gens go slower. I don't know how much, like 20% slower for a little bit. And there could be like another bar underneath the gen bar to show the actual progress of the gen, like the actual slowdown. Like the devs have said they're against adding complicated base kit mechanics like that to the game. But they added like anti-camp and anti-3gen in this shit. I feel like it's just necessary at this point. Like I really want something like that in the game where it makes you just like, it rewards you for going for multiple hooks, you know? Because that's like, everyone's having the most fun, even if you lose a survivor. If you get to be chased by the killer a lot and, you know, all that, it's like, and you still lose, it's like, who cares, you know? Like, it can still be fun. Yeah. But as killer, it's like, tunneling is like, fine. I mean, it can be kind of fun sometimes if it's like a really sweaty team and I manage to win by tunneling and I'm just like, it feels really good, but I just like doing 12 hook matches more, but you just can't versus a lot of teams. So
I get that.
Yeah, it's just like that's what I would talk to them about. I want base kit changes to incentivize not tunneling by rewarding the killer for not tunneling by going for slowdown. And maybe if they hook the same survivor twice, like they're actually tunneling, then the gens get quicker. Basically, is what I'm saying. Like maybe the gens could actually speed up, you know, to help the survivors recover a bit if the killer's just hard tunneling.
Yeah.
So
it's not a bad idea.
I honestly really like. I feel like True Talent kind of had that idea, and I kind of like that idea from him. I don't agree with everything he says, but I like that idea. And just that, I would also just ask them to like please just like how Darva talked about the gap in DVD's balance. Like I really want them to like shorten the gap between high tier and low tier killers. You know, like just Hillbilly can be the strongest killer for now. Let's start with that, so the game's not pay to win because he's free. Just get rid of make Nurse and Blight just a little bit weaker, please. And, you know, some killers just need some killers really need love. They're just super outdated. Like I would love to see more changes like that too. I also just want more survivor items as well. That's another thing I want. Just because like
that'd be cool.
I don't know how we don't have more. I hear they're adding one this summer, but it's definitely just gonna be a fucking reskin smoke bomb or some bullshit. Like it's not gonna be anything interesting. Like I would play Survivor more if there were more items or more interesting add-ons for the items, because like I like shit like the Blood Amber, even though it's a little bit broken. It's like just having stuff like that is kind of cool. like for the key. It's like the thing that lets you see the killer's aura on the key. Like that's kind of cool. Or the weird ass map add-on that no one ever uses, where you get to like put down a beacon and shit. Like
the glowing beam. Yeah,
that's so interesting. Like I want more stuff like that, and rather than like oh you heal quicker, oh you repair quicker, like shit like that. You know, like I want items like I don't know, alarms that you can put down, and if the killer walks over them, everyone sees the aura for a little bit. Kind
of like a xenomorph. Fire style.
In VHS,
the beeping.
In Video Horror Society, no, not like that. Like they have to walk over, and then it just lets everyone know where they are, basically. Video Horror Society had a really similar item called the Noisemaker, where you'd place it somewhere, and then the killer would walk over it, and it would just show everyone where they are for like 10 seconds.
Oh, so you're thinking more like a wiretap item.
Yeah, it would just show them. That idea is cool too, or just the idea of like you know, a tripwire or something you could set up, and it would maybe hinder the killer a little bit, or just like maybe it'd be broken. I don't know. I really don't know. It's just like I just want something new for Survivor, because Survivor gameplay is dynamic based on the killer you're playing against, but because like that's what they've been doing is they've added like Vecna gives survivors cool abilities like invisibility, but that's only if you're playing against Vecna, or you know, you get cameras as Springtrap or teleportation as Springtrap. It's like it's based on the killer you play against a lot of the time, and it's like, can't that just be like something you could do normally? Like I know it'd be broken like on some killers, but against some killers, but you know, I just want more variety as Survivor. I can't believe we haven't gotten a new item in like 5 years. Like I've actually never seen a new item or add-on for Survivor added in my entire playtime of DVD. I've never seen one added since I started playing. It's been the same ones ever since. Not even many balance changes of them either. Like it's so disappointing. Because that's like a lot of I know Survivor finds a lot of variety in perks, but items are fun too. But pretty much everyone just brings medkits nowadays because they're just kind of the best, and there's not much variety, you know. And yeah, just throw in the syringe. Why not? You know, throw that in too. Like I feel like if there's cooler shit to use as Survivor, more people would use it. So
yeah, definitely.
I would ask them about that basically.
Yeah, I kind of that reminded me. I did another interview a couple days ago, and we brought up the idea of like speaking of you know not adding stuff for all this year with like more emotes or possibly voice chat. What do you think about that? Yeah,
voice chat would honestly bridge the gap between SWF. Like I feel like you know they didn't want it at first because it's too atmospheric. Like oh you know it'd be weird, but like VHS had voice chat and it worked fine, or a pinging system at least, you know. Yeah, more emotes as well. The fact that like 1, 2 is your emotes, and like there's like all these other keys, you know, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 on your keyboard. Like you can't, doesn't do anything in the game. Like
I know.
It's really weird that it hasn't been added yet.
Yeah, like what, 9 years coming up, and all we can do is point and pull.
I mean, I get that it's like not too useful. Like it mainly like every second counts as Survivor, so just emoting is like wasting time. But it's just funny, like doing it even as BM. It's like who cares, like. Just doing like a dance or something in front of the killer when you stun them as a pal, like it's just fucking stupid. Like I would really want that. They could literally pay, like people would pay for that shit. People would also pay for item skins as Survivor, like skins for your flashlight and shit. People would buy that shit. Like it's just free money. They should do that.
That's I thought about that too. That's a good idea. After they released the banners and the icons, I feel like that opened the window for them to do so much more, but they just haven't done anything.
Yeah.
They have so many so much opportunities,
Even like killer skin powers, like giving Victor a hat or giving Huntress different hatchets or something like
that. Yeah, that would be. I can't believe the hatchets aren't customizable.
Or like artist crows, or like almost not gonna be like pay to win, like you know, because they already did that with Houndmaster's dog. But
yeah, totally.
It's
make it a poodle.
It's kind of disappointing we don't have that stuff. There's so much. It's just free money for them as well. There's so much customization they could add to the game.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they're lost at this point,
Yeah, but one last thing I would probably bring up is offerings, and how just offerings in general need a rework. Like,
how so?
Because there's this new update, they're actually kind of doing a little bit of that. They're changing map offerings, and they're making shroud offerings like new, which is shroud offerings are now just going to be used by Swifts over and over again. So I really don't like that, but I want like offerings that actually affect the game in like a balanced way, like because pretty much everyone just uses blood point offerings and map offerings, but pretty much 90% of it is blood point offerings. I think it'd be cool if there was just like small stuff you could do that would like, I don't know, like as a survivor maybe you could repair a single broken pallet. Maybe that'd be too broken. Maybe only one survivor could bring that. Or like as killer you could destroy a single upright pallet for the game. Just like something like that that'd be kind of interesting, like or you know, like the one that I like is like spawning the hatch or basement in a different spawn. I want more stuff like that, you know, like I want like more ideas, like more like gameplay affecting things that aren't too broken that you would see as offerings, you know? Because the ones that we have are like the mist offerings and shit, and the luck. It's like no one uses that shit. Like we just need like an offering overhaul in general. I think would be really cool.
Yeah. Huh. All right, kind of, I guess, moving towards like, I guess the community and stuff. What kind of player behavior do you think is the most damaging to DBD in its experience, and how much of it is encouraged by like the game design itself?
Player behavior? You mean like camping, tunneling, stuff like that?
Yeah. Or like even like after, like, you know, kind of taking it too far. What's your stance on that?
I don't know. Like that's the first one I don't have an immediate answer for. Like honestly, I know they're doing things to change it, and everyone's complained about it, but I think just the whole go next thing is just really really cringe and really damaging to the game. Like that just makes solo queue, which is already the weakest thing in the game, even worse. And even though they're making it so you can't suicide on hook and you can't do certain things, it's like you're still just gonna people are still gonna give up no matter what. So yeah,
they're gonna get creative. They're gonna find new ways.
Yeah, they're gonna find new ways. Like they're just gonna AFK if nothing else. You know, like that whole mindset is just cringe in my opinion, especially because it happens for no reason sometimes. Like I was playing Survivor with my friend the other day, and our teammate, we were at 2 gens left, and there was a Vecna on the game, and he had 3 hooks, and he had like 3 hooks on different people, and he gets hooked again. He hooks the guy again for the first time, literally for the first time, and he gives up on a hook. Like we're on Gideon Meat Plan against Vecna, which is like, I know he has Mage Hand, it's not like the best map, but still, it's like we had 3 gens done. It's like, you're giving up. Why? It's their first hook, by the way. He only hooked like me and our other teammate like once. It's like, so the entire game's just over at that point. Like the killer's not having fun because they're just like inevitably gonna win like without really any challenge, and all the survivors are just sort of hanging in there until the killer eventually kills them. You know, it's just it's gotten so bad recently. And it's just like people are gonna do that. Like that just hurts Survivor experience a lot, which is like what we need, because like most people play Survivor, most people are Survivor mains, and that's why the game has kind of been balanced around Survivor for most of its lifespan, which has been an issue like in 2021, but it's honestly been fine lately. It's just like that's been that bad. That's how the game can die, is shit like that, you know.
Yeah. Have you ever made a video or statement that you ended up changing your mind later? And what did you learn from that?
The main one that comes to my mind that's recent is the stuff I said about Scott Jund that just wasn't true at all. Like some of the jabs I threw at him in top 5 worst DVD YouTubers. Saying shit like, you know, he's ruined multiple careers, or he gets in drama all the time, or he complains about his job. Shit like that just kind of wasn't true at all. And it was just sort of like jabs that I threw at him that just like weren't true. So yeah, definitely that. Like once I went over the debate, when I had a debate with him a couple days ago, he brought it up, and I was like, yeah, I don't really know what I was thinking with that.
Yeah, like, I think that's a good mindset to have, to know, like, you know, when you said something wrong.
Yeah, I mean, people are like, oh, you'd never concede, because I didn't concede during the Spook and Jukes debate, because it genuinely went nowhere, but that one I was like, yeah, he's kind of right. Like, I genuinely don't really know what I was getting at with those jabs. Thankfully, like, most of the video was about his content, and I still don't really like his content. It's just something we fundamentally disagree on, is that I just think his content's unhealthy for the game. But the shit I said about him and personally is like, was just slander, basically, is some of the stuff I said. It wasn't like hard accusations or anything, like it was just sort of jabs, but even that, it's like people can still take it the wrong way. So besides that, there's nothing else I've really gone back on in my videos. I don't know, I have to think a little bit more. Like, there's nothing I've really gone back on, though.
Yeah. Where do you personally draw the line between honest critique and just feeding into negativity? Either, like, you know, for yourself or other creators.
What do you mean where I draw the line?
Like, where do you think, you know, it's like, personally, where do you think it's, like, to the point of, like, you're critiquing this content for something, and then maybe taking it a little too far? And if you haven't ever or if you think you haven't taken it too far, that's totally fine.
I
But
mean,
like, what do you think?
Taking it too far is slandering Scott Junn, but with random jabs about him that actually just don't really mean anything. Like, that's taking it too far. But besides that, I don't know. I feel like just talking about their content, especially when I'm a smaller creator, is fine. Like, I don't really see any issue with that.
Yeah.
Taking it too far. I don't know. Like, maybe some of the stuff I said about Spook and Jukes in the video I made on him, but I don't know. I still stand by most of the stuff I said in that video. And people saying I didn't have proof just didn't watch it, because, like, there's genuinely so much. It's a 40-minute fucking video with so much shit in it, so. That video, I don't know. I'd say, this again, the Scott Junn thing is probably where I went too far by just kind of being, like, blindly hatred, because I just don't like him or his content, but that doesn't give me the excuse to just, like, kind of jab at him and say random shit that just didn't happen, you know, that I vaguely, like, thought was true. So, yeah, that's, like, kind of the only example I can really think of.
Yeah, that's fair. Has there ever been a time where you felt the community misunderstood your intentions behind a video, and how did you handle that?
I mean, a lot of the time I'm just fairly negative in my videos, so people just immediately get angry, and they just, like, think emotionally and think irrationally. And I'm not going to tone down my, like, I'm not going to be, like, you know, nice to people just to make them, like, hear my opinion better, because they should be able to. If they're too butthurt over me being, like, mean in the video to actually make a good argument, then I don't care. Like, that's why I don't care about like ratios at all. Like, because some of my videos just get bad like ratios, and it's especially for YouTube standards. It's like, but I don't see actually like any good points in the comments. Like, that's what I care about is good points. That's why I conceded on Scott Junn, because he was actually making good points against me. And I was like, okay, yeah, shit, this guy's actually kind of right. He's kind of owning me. So I was just like, fine, I'll concede. But I don't care about shit like that for the most part. Like, funny fact, my random update video where I revealed my Discord server and shit, and revealed my Twitter, and I was just like, hey, you know, I'm branching out, I'm making more stuff. That video has a 60% like ratio. When, like, literally nothing happened in it. Like, there was no controversial opinions, no call-outs, no hot takes, no anything. It just shows that people are just gonna hate. Like, I don't care unless they have a good point, basically, is what I'm getting at with this.
Yeah.
And people just haven't made very many good arguments versus most of the stuff I've said. Like, Springtrap, for example, is another thing where people are kind of just missing. They're like I went over the comments in a video, if you saw that video, like roasting comments on my Springtrap video or something. But that's where people are just like, lol, you're just hating just to hate. You far right grifter, racist, homophobic, incel, whatever fucking buzzwords they want to throw at me. Like, and I don't care. If they don't have good points, I don't care. Like, that's what actually scares me, is that people are, like, actually making good points against me. I'm like, oh shit, I'm wrong. But no, like, so I feel like I haven't really been, or I have been misconstrued just because I'm just very aggressive and argumentative in my videos, which is just how, it's my niche, it's how I am, so I'm not going to stop doing that just because it hurts people's feelings.
Yeah. A lot of your videos, I'd say, you know, walk a line between comedy and criticism. How intentional is that balance, and do you ever worry about people, like, focusing on one side of it, maybe, like, getting caught up in one opinion, you know?
I don't know, like, some of my videos have barely any comedy at all, because I actually have, like, shit I want, like, the Spook and Jukes 40-minute video I made on him has pretty much no jokes at all. Maybe a jab here and there, like, calling him stuff, but, like, it depends, like, I think maybe the perfect combination of commentary and criticism that I've made is, or criticism and comedy is, well, again, we have a pretty small sample size because I just got started like a month and a half ago in the community, but I'm still gonna make a lot of shit.
What? Oh, sorry, go on.
Yeah. My best combination is the video I made on Scott Junn, just like pretending to be him. Even he thought that was funny. Or I'm just sort of like reading out patch notes in a way that he would. He was like, I thought that was funny. It's like, dude, like Scott Junn's kind of cool, honestly. I know he has issues. There's issues I have with him, but as a person, he's honestly pretty cool. The fact that he can just, like, laugh at himself like that is, like, that's an ego that, that's the thing that probably I would still have too much of an ego if someone made a video like that against me. So, but, like, him, that video is, like, I'm presenting, like, why I think his videos are bad, and also just trying to make it funny at the same time, but I think maybe a good example is, the Blight video, where I'm just talking about, like, I have a combination of just, like, calling out the Blight player base for just being, like Valorant e-boy brobot slaves and just, like, talking the same, which is funny. Yeah. That's not criticism, it's just me, like, realizing how stereotypical they are. but I'm also just talking about why Blight is just so unhealthy for the game and broken in general, and why, like, I think the egos people have over it is really cringe, and, like, the weird, like, pass that Blight gets from everyone for just being a base dash killer is really annoying. So, yeah, I think that's probably the best balance I have of criticism and comedy.
Alright. When you make a video, or no, sorry. I saw your you did a like I think a week ago. You did like a community post of like more videos you want to do.
Yeah.
Do you ever feel like kind of boxed in the content your audience expects, or are you like excited or comfortable to kind of make new stuff? Like, do you think do you ever feel like stuck? Like, oh, the drama's doing good. Maybe I have to do more, like debates, What do you think about that?
Not yet, no, because I made the Springtrap video and that got 30,000 views, and that's not really drama. It's about my opinion on the game. The Kaneki video got 20,000. Those are both hot topics, though. So I feel like maybe, but like at the same time, I don't really care that much about views because like I care if some people are watching. Obviously, like the more views, the better. I don't think any YouTuber would ever disagree with that. Because, like, when I was making my random shit on just, like, anything, I made videos on some games, some stuff on YouTubers I didn't like, just when I was making shit in between DVD and GD. I wasn't getting many views, and eventually I was just sort of like, I don't really care. Like, I like seeing these creators just, like, put, like, 15 minutes into a video and it gets 1 million views because it's about fucking Chris Tyson or something, just demoralized me a lot. And I also just was kind of losing passion. So I just took like a year break, and I was like, I think I want to make DVD shit. Because, like, I noticed GD worked as a good niche, and DVD has a good niche, and if I'm allowed to just talk about anything DVD related, that's enough for me. Like, I'm not going to try branching out, because that doesn't really work ever for creators. Like, you have to be really lucky to be able to branch out and do anything. So I'm just going to stick with Dead by Daylight, because it's just, like, a game has so much to talk about, a really interesting community, I guess I could say it, and just... It's always evolving, and it's always changing, and, I don't know how long I'll probably keep doing this for, like, another year, at least. Like, it's not my job. I do have I'm a full-time college student, but now I'm on break. But I also do have a job I go to every now and then, so...
What do you major in, if you don't mind my asking?
I'm majoring in film right now, and minoring in psychology.
Oh, awesome.
But yeah, it's just, like, editing is, like, my passion in general, just being behind the scenes on shit. I've done a lot of small projects, I've even edited, like, some commercials and shit that got on TV and stuff, so it's just, like,
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I've done the odd job here and there, but I don't have a bachelor's, obviously, so I'm not taken very seriously yet. But, it's a weird profession, like, it might not work for me, I don't know. But if it doesn't, like, getting a bachelor's in general is just enough to do anything, so... I've been looking into psychology as well.
If you're passionate about something, do it. I have a whopping 2 subscribers on this interview channel, but, I took a film class. I did a lot of interviews for my film class. I went to small businesses and, like, I have a passion for it, whether you have, like, 1 million subscribers or, like, 2 subscribers. I think most definitely, you gotta do what you love. Yeah.
I mean, I think it'd be cool if your channel got bigger. Like, that's why I was cool doing this. I don't care if you're, like, I don't care if you have 2 subscribers or 2 million. It's like, if you just want to interview me, I'll talk about myself. Like, people love talking about themselves, and I think it'd be something fun to talk about on stream. And also, at the same time, I just want to support, like, smaller creators in the community who are up and coming as well. So
yeah, I appreciate it.
On this VOD, you're really good at interviewing as well. I mean, you're just, like, letting me talk about myself, like, constantly. So that's just like
I think that's what an interview should be. I think just getting everyone's, and I personally don't think you're, like, a bad person, but you got a lot of, like, I'd say you're in, like,
I have controversial opinions, but I'm not hurting anyone.
Yeah, and I think, I'd like this channel to have, like, everyone's voice, everyone, like, says what they feel.
People like me who are, like, on sort of the weird content spectrum, and then you have people like Scott Jund who just make entirely opposite content to me, like, basically.
Exactly. I want to get everyone, exactly. Yeah. I got another one coming out this Friday, too, so, it's exciting. Rapid Main, actually.
Oh, really? You got Rapid Main? That's interesting.
I know. I'm getting some big people right off the gate. Yeah. I wasn't expecting this.
Do you know my sort of relationship with him?
Yeah, I've been kind of following this for a while.
It's nothing crazy, but yeah, I basically just he just got mad at me over the spook shit, and then he just sort of wanted to debate, and then I was like, fine, cool, because I was in a call with Pro Vengeance and a few other people that he doesn't like, and it kind of just I was muted for most of it because I just wanted to let them go at it, but he just had like a debate with Pro Vengeance that was really stupid. Like
yeah,
I thought it was entertaining at first, but eventually he just started like screaming and just being like, "Lol, you're buying the rage bait, lol, bounce on it," and Pro Vengeance like wasn't saying anything. Like it just came across as like really desperate and cringy. Like he kind of started losing, so he just started like screaming and just fucking saying like, "Lol, you're buying my rage bait." It's like, I don't know, like, I liked it when they were actually talking, but he just started doing that, just started screaming and giving up, and it was really fucking embarrassing and pathetic, so, I don't know, like, they had a nice conversation for a while that was, very combative, but very interesting, but what he started doing halfway through the debate is, like, I was worried he would be like that the whole time, that's why I didn't want to, because he's so emotional, I was worried that he wouldn't even, he would just do that the whole time, but he talked like a person for a little bit, and then he just started getting fucking brainwashed by TikTok slang and shit, so... But yeah, I don't know, you should totally interview him, though. He seems like a very interesting person.
I already did.
Oh, you already did? Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I was talking to him. He's a nice guy. I really like his content, you know. He was trolling a bit at the end. But, yeah, as far as, like, talking with him, I really like him. He seemed like a cool guy.
We just don't see eye to eye on things, but when I was
which I think shouldn't be an
issue.
issue for this channel.
It shouldn't be, no. Like,
yeah.
When I was talking to him one-on-one, he was fine. He was normal. It's just like he just hates what I said about Spooks and shit. And he got very emotional because I attacked his like boyfriend Spooks, and then Pro Vengeance really wanted to talk to him, and then that became a whole fucking thing, and that was kind of a crazy. That was one of the most ridiculous debates I've had on this channel. Like, I wasn't even in it. I was muted for most of it. I was just like, because I didn't want to 2v1 him. That just seems kind of cringe just to 2v1 him. So I just wanted to like sort of let them go at it. But anyways, I forgot what question this even was. It sort of branched into everything else.
Oh no, we finished that question. My next question, I have two more questions. In your view, does the DBD community reward authenticity or does it reward performance more?
What do you mean authenticity or performance? Like you mean content-wise?
Yeah. Like.
Oh, hold on, I got a donation. This guy wants me to put Cookie Wizard's new video on the, you probably don't know what that means. Okay, fine.
Oh, no worries.
Yeah, I have like he gave me a $5 super chat, so it's like, just like to change the brain rot.
Oh, okay.
Hold on a second, God damn it, man. You can keep talking though.
Oh, I guess kind of elaborating what that question was. Like, do you? Because I know I have seen some of your videos, and I know you do. Like, you speak very strongly about like what is good content, what is not, in your opinion. And what do you think is like, you know? I guess would be like, what do you think is like rewarded more, like?
Rewarded? I don't know. I feel like you said performance or authenticity. What do you mean by performance?
Like, I would say like gameplay more.
Oh.
Yeah, because I've heard you talk about like, you know, how like you're not a fan of like people just uploading clips in like in full of like.
I feel like there's just so much more you can do with this game than that.
Yeah.
So I'm like really fucking trying to find this guy. This video.
Oh, no worries.
Okay, there it is. Okay, we got it. Okay. So yeah, honestly, I feel like gameplay is definitely more rewarded. I mean, it's the biggest types of content.
So starting off with what appears to be
the biggest types of content that you see in DVD is just shit like, you know, oh, this build destroys survivors or whatever, like shit like that. It's just the biggest types of and there's nothing really wrong with it, honestly. Just like spooky loops type shit. Even Not Starving makes that type of stuff. But yeah, it's just like I honestly think probably performances, because being good at DBD isn't like a huge accomplishment. It's not too hard of a game, honestly. So I just feel like it's not even performance. It's more like I don't know. That's a good question. That's a good question. Like, because not a lot of them claim to be like insanely good at the game. That's how a lot of communities work. Is like the best creators are always like, you know, top 500 like crackheads at the game, like really fucking good. But that's not even how it is in DBD. A lot of big creators don't even pride themselves on being like super good at the game or anything. So it's just unique in that way. DBD is unique in a lot of ways. But yeah, I don't even know if I can answer that. Like I don't really know, honestly.
No worries.
I don't really know. I really don't know that one, honestly. Like that's a tough one to answer. I guess just move on.
No worries. Yeah, for the last question, if someone told you they were thinking about making a commentary style content about DBD, what's one thing you would tell them to keep in mind, ethically or creatively?
Okay, that's a good question. See, commentary stuff, you mean like maybe this kind of stuff that I make, or what? What do you mean commentary?
Yeah, you know, yeah, whatever kind of stuff you make, or just like in general, like whether it's like watching gameplay, whether it's talking about opinions, you know, anything.
I would just say, you mean like advice, like for a new up and coming creator?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I ask everyone this at the end. I just,
Okay.
you know, one piece of advice.
I feel like a lot of my tips would just go towards YouTube in general, not DBD.
Yeah.
Like.
What about oh, sorry, go on.
No, you can go. It's just like I feel like a lot of
I was
stuff
gonna.
it's just like YouTube in general.
Yeah, just like grind on YouTube, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
Do you ever stream on Twitch?
Stream
What
on
about
Twitch? No, I don't have a Twitch. I kind of do.
Oh.
It's like it's complicated. But yeah, no, I don't stream on Twitch. I was thinking of multi-streaming, but I don't really like Twitch at all as a platform. I don't really like the type of shit that is shown on there. I think it's just kind of degenerate. Like I just like YouTube way more. Also, a lot of the shit I do on stream might just get me banned on Twitch as well. So like 'cause Twitch is like way more pussified unless you're showing tits. So it's just a terrible platform in general. I just think YouTube's way better. And YouTube still has a lot of issues when it comes to streaming, but it's just like the amount of fucking porn and just react people on Twitch is just like, it's just I can't like I can't be on that fucking platform.
Yeah, I get that. Alrighty, well, that's all the questions I have. Thanks for taking the time and doing this.
All right, yeah, cool. So is this gonna be up on your channel in a few days or what?
The rapid one's gonna come out Friday. I don't know if I want to do. I try to upload once a Friday, so I don't know if I'm gonna wait or just like say screw it and post it on Saturday
if you
or
have a
something.
schedule going, I can wait. Just like, yeah.
You can wait a week.
Yeah, I can wait a week. Obviously, it's like there's nothing.
I mean, it's just gonna be this, but like edited, you know, just like my last 2 videos.
Okay, well, cool.
Alrighty. Yeah, I'll send you a link as soon as I'm done though.
Okay.
Maybe if you want to watch it before I post it, even I'll keep it unlisted, you know.
They're asking for the channel in chat. Do you have it like linked in your? No, you don't have it linked in your YouTube. Can you send it in DMs?
Sure, yeah.
I'm curious to see what Rapid Man has to say in his interview.
Yeah, I just.
Because apparently
What I'm kind of.
He's like mostly known on TikTok nowadays, apparently, right? Actually.
Yeah, that, and he said he does a lot of Twitch. I basically what was I gonna say? Yeah, I'm trying to just get as many people, whether I agree with their opinion or not. I think it's important to have that like mindset in an interview. Like, you can interview people you don't agree with. Like,
yeah.
I'm not saying I disagree with you on everything. I do on some aspects of what you say, but like, that doesn't mean I like hate you. That I think people need to find that line between like, oh, I hate this person, I want nothing to do with them, to, oh, I disagree with them.
Yeah,
let's interview them. Let's see what they have to say. You know.
I don't care about people disagreeing with me if they have good points. It's literally my whole thing. I think it's good that you have someone like me who just have a wide variety of different. Because I'm like completely different from I want to be like, oh, I'm a special snowflake.
Yeah,
but I am completely different from most of these creators. Like.
From Scott John to
like
Rapid to you,
Rapid
like
and Scott and John,
yeah.
Rapid and Scott John are way more similar to each other than I am. Because like the type of content I make is entirely different. The type of person I am is entirely different. My background is entirely different. Like, I mean, we're all just white dudes, but still, it's just like, my sense of humor is different from them. It's just like, yeah, you want to get as much variety as possible. Who else are you thinking of interviewing if you could?
I sent out a lot of emails to people, and Scott was the only one to get back email-wise. I don't know, just anyone, honestly. Anyone who does DVD stuff, I want to kind of tackle that. Maybe if this goes anywhere, then, you know, maybe go past DVD, but, you know, we'll see.
Okay. Yeah, if you want to become like a super interviewer of just all YouTubers ever, then yeah, that'd be awesome. I mean, you're just getting I just see you're just getting started just like me. It's just I had a huge I had a huge bump in, you know, I started off with a head start because people know me from other stuff. But I also was inactive on YouTube for a very, very long time as well. So,
yeah,
it's like, I still have, like, you know, maybe guaranteed, like, 2,000 people who would have seen me at the start of my 40K. And it's kind of been weird getting back into DVD because I'm, like, losing a ton of subscribers because people are like, oh, it's this guy, I don't care about DVD, I'm going to unsubscribe. And I'm also gaining a ton, too. Like, it's really weird. Because, like, if I was, like, if there was some guy who played GD 8 years ago and he's still on my sub feed, and it's like now he's playing fucking, I don't know, For Honor or some game I don't care about, yeah, I'd probably just unsub. I don't care about the game, so it's like...
Yeah, I get that.
So it's like, for me, I'm just like gaining and losing a ton at the same time, so it's kind of weird. But I'm still gaining more than I'm losing.
That's good to hear. Alright, well, anything else you want to throw out there, or ask me anything?
This is a nice chill interview, nothing crazy, just like went on for like an hour or so, so yeah.
Yeah,
cool.
you know, I'm not trying to make things confrontational. I'm not about that. Just sharing opinions. That's all.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure I haven't really shared my background with this game a lot with a lot of people in chat, so I'm sure maybe they're interested in hearing, you know, how I started and some of my opinions on the game and everything. Okay, well,
yeah, definitely.
Wrapping this up then.
Yeah, that's about it. Have a good one, man.
All right, you too. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Bye. All right, you should interview you. Oh, too late now. Okay, I was in a call with Titan as well, about his various opinions on the game, so I'm gonna try to set that up now. I'll change the stream title. Okay, that looks better. What are we gonna do now? I'm gonna, can you debate Titan? Sure. Yeah, you can join us. You can join us. I'm gonna talk to TitanofTheMind now, if you know who that is. He's more well known. I don't think he has a YouTube. He's on Twitch. He's the guy who uses cheating ass Swift a lot. He's the guy that Troy made a video on, who's like the tribal killer main chief or whatever. Yeah, that went on for about an hour. Good interview. Is it gonna be in the server or nah? It could be. Honestly, just to avoid like random people joining, just to keep it normal. Let's just make it a group chat. Honestly, I didn't want to invite that guy to the server because he doesn't deserve to see this horrible place. Okay, I'm just asking if he's ready to call now. Yeah, Sky, you can join if you want. That might be interesting. Sky, you should probably change your PFP to like Claire or something for the stream though. If people are gonna be like, oh, you're talking to a furry, oh my god. Change it like Claire or something. Yeah, I know we have a VC for mods. It's heaven, right? Okay. Yeah, you can keep it then. I'm just gonna call him and see what happens. I know he's streaming right now. I'm not gonna keep it going. He's probably mid-killer match, so let me see if he's mid-killer match. Yeah, he is. Oh, he's like getting fucking owned as well.
Oh my goodness gracious!
Streak 2,415. I was a mod for him now, but my Twitch account got banned for
Uh-oh, guys.
ban evading.
Uh-oh, not a good look.
Well, he's kind of owning the Swift though.
Soup, were we? Honestly, I misread your
no
message, and I took it negatively because we're against a cheating ass Swift.
Cheating ass Swift.
So if you didn't shit talk me, we're cool.
This guy's hilarious, by the way. If you want to see actual gameplay, watch him. He's like really fucking good at the game. He plays low tier killers, and he's just really, really angry all the time.
Yeah, that's right. Come on, RNG cheats. Come on.
He's up against like 1v1 cards.
Yeah, your message wasn't toxic at all. I just glanced at it. All right, that's my bad.
Dude, every time I tune into his stream, he's always
Garbage.
BMing.
Can't even win against a zero slowdown clown. Womp womp. Womp fucking womp.
If you guys want to see actual like gameplay, watch this guy. I know I play sometimes, but oh, they used a comp key.
Again,
Wow.
guys, it's just the same old.
Yeah.
Guys, again,
Perfect match to transition out of.
every person that says that comms aren't a problem in DVD, you know, they're healthy.
Okay, yeah,
Look at this. Nope, they're not console. Grinch, we are on Epic Game Store so that we can avoid cheaters, since we don't have our Cloud ID published, because we were running into a lot yesterday. So we fully merged our account with Epic. So, yeah, no, this is, unless we run into people on Epic Games, everyone looks like a console player now. But again,
okay,
not anymore. No, we are on Epic, because it hides your Steam ID. Cheaters can't acquire it, so...
I was gonna transition his chat into. Is he gonna call me on stream?
So, alright. Alright, so apparently I am going to get an interview with somebody right now, with a YouTuber.
Yo. Hey.
One sec, I'm just changing my shit on stream real quick so that people know.
Did you jump scare your audience? Did they not know this is happening?
No, of course not. I didn't know if it was entirely guaranteed. So.
Oh yeah. Chatting with okay, so yeah, we've actually been talking for a bit, Titan and we like he's cool. I like, dude, I tune in and you just like every time I tune into your fucking stream, you're always just like up against the sweatiest losers and just like BMing them. It's so funny. Like,
don't worry, last match we just ran to a 4-man stack A squad with all babysitter DS, everything, and
yeah,
you
it's
know, we
literally
played
like
zero
they
cooldown
comp
clown.
key, and, yeah, they tried comp key and everything.
Yep.
So you know I support your fight against Spook and Jukes. Thank you. That's not what this is about right now, but yeah. So this shouldn't be too long. I made a poll basically on what video I should make next. You know, like, oh, should I make a top 5 best DVD YouTubers or whatever? One of them is why SWF is cheating. And you've talked to me about this in calls before, and you present, like, the first time people hear that, like, the first time people hear that, they're like, what the hell? SWF? How could SWF be cheating? That's stupid, you know? You know, like, of course it's not cheating. They allow it, but like the way you talk about it, it's like I'm like, yeah, you're kind of making sense. Like, this is kind of like you're kind of like putting forward some really good points. So this is almost
You want to put a pin in that?
Like,
I would say you want to put a pin in that for 45 seconds. I didn't expect it to be 7 o'clock already Eastern time, real quick.
wait,
I
what?
was just gonna hop to the bathroom. I was just gonna go to the bathroom for 45 seconds real quick before.
Oh yeah, sure. Okay.
Yeah. I'll be right back. It'll be a minute. Don't worry.
Is he just turning off the music now? Wait, can you guys still hear me? Yo, hey Titan's chat, what's up? Dude, I actually talked to Titan a little bit before I even started making DVD content. Cause I just went to like a server that he was in, and I was like, I just think he's funny. I genuinely just think he's funny. I actually the way I heard about him was Bomp, who's like the Bloodpoint Stomp guys. They're like the ones who sniped him like 3 times and made videos on him. And then Choi made that fucking hit piece on him. I bring that up a little bit, how the hit piece got his account banned. I don't know how many of you know that, but Yeah, this is not going to be my usual toxic, debate that I had with like Spook and Jukes or whatever. Like, it's like we're chill. Like, I think Titan's funny.
Sure, we're back.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, that was quick. Was that like a speed piss? What was that?
Well, my apartment, the place where you have the Ethernet cord is only here in the bedroom, so I actually have my desk set up here, and the bathroom's connected right to it, so I had to walk all over 3 steps. So.
Okay. All right. So, could you turn your mic up a little bit? I have your user volume at max, but you're still like pretty quiet on Discord.
Yeah, of course.
Okay. Okay. That seems better. Okay. So, all right.
How is it? Is this better now?
Yeah. That works. Okay, so basically, yeah, I actually might start like taking notes, like just because I want to have these like for a video as well, like.
Sure.
Like this is out. If nothing else, if we get nothing else out of this, this is for my video. If nothing else, like I literally just want you to like put forward fully what you think about why SWF is cheating and all that, like just notes, like because I am gonna make a video just basically using your points. I'll shout you out and just be like. This guy is who gave me this idea, because when I first heard it, I was like, yeah this is like, SWF isn't cheating, come on, dude. But like, the more you talk about it in calls, where you talk about everything it has in common with using third-party software for an advantage, I'm like, you're kind of making sense, actually. Yeah,
so you came from the Choi video, right? Like that's
no, I actually came from Bomp. I heard of you before the Choi video.
Oh yeah, those guys.
Yeah, I heard of you on. It's amazing how much negative attention gives you. Like I'd know. Like I only know of you because of negative attention that you've gotten for just rightfully getting annoyed at fucking people stream sniping you and just having every advantage possible when you're playing Clown and just pre-drop. Like so. Yeah, that's how I know you.
Well, listen, they didn't stream snipe. Okay, they definitely did.
Happen to go against.
No. Yeah, the fun part about that, before we get into it, is I ran into them a 4th time after their 3rd video came out, where I was playing Bubba, and they got completely fucking rocked on Macmillan, and I was just face camping the shit out of them, and I noticed that after that match, they let me know that it was them, and then, they stopped just doing, their little fun videos on me, because they ended up getting 3K'd by a Bubba with no slowdown, and it was not a good look.
Not a good look, yeah, and all that shit. Like, you need like a YouTube channel, like just to upload shit like that. Like it doesn't have to be anything crazy. Like you should just make that though. Like you don't even have a channel that you upload on, right?
No, I literally just made my Discord yesterday for the first time. So I mean,
yeah, but
so
you don't even have a you use my server as like your main spot that you hang out, right, on Discord.
I did.
You did?
Yeah,
is it too much?
I did.
Now?
I did, and then I had my own. Enough people just wanted to hop into a Discord. So yeah, I did literally yesterday.
You should invite me. I'll join that. But yeah, I always thought it was weird that considering that you're getting average 40 or 50, 60 viewers. That's really good. Like for Twitch. Like I'm not saying a whole lot. But that's kind of what I get too on YouTube, and on YouTube and Twitch, that's like top 0.01% like of all people, So at least we're doing something right. We're not Starva getting 1,000 every stream, but it's like people like watching us do all sorts of shit.
It's the percentiles, obviously, that matter. But, initially it's, you have 0 viewers, you're a fucking loser. You have 5 viewers, you're a fucking loser. You get double-digit viewers, you're still a loser. You have 50, well, it's not 100. You have 100, why isn't it 1,000? You have 1,000, why isn't it 10,000? Oh, you're not the biggest person streaming DVD. Oh, you're not the biggest person on Twitch. You always have somebody that's going to be larger than you. It's never worth getting to that. But you do notice that those comments go down significantly. Obviously, you had much larger meteoric rise having a pre-existing Geometry Dash community.
Yeah, like I had sort of a head start, but at the same time, I've gotten so many new people from DVD as well.
Oh yeah, like the day after I had the Choi video, because just to start from that, like I had Momo 7th raid me a couple times because because I streamed overnights back then, and I was one of the only people that like basically streamed Killer past like 2 p.m. And at that point, Momo decided to raid me for like a week straight. And then after that, that's when the Choi video came out. And then after that, that's when a bunch of people actually like started coming on over, since the Choi video has like, what, 85,000 or some shit like that right now?
That's a lot, yeah.
Yeah. So.
It's funny, he doesn't even mention your name in that video, and your account still gets banned like days after it comes out. Like, I don't know how people defend this shit.
Yeah, no, obviously for people that don't know, so what happened is that I ended up getting quote-unquote banned for hate speech after. Now, fortunately, in the stream right before I ended up getting banned, I literally announced that I was moving across country for a promotion I got for my job. So I found out, basically, checking my emails, or at some point, or logging into DBD, I'm not sure. I logged into DBD.
Yeah, I remember when you
my
posted
account
it in
was,
the server, yeah.
Yeah, my Ethernet was so dog shit at that point that I couldn't play DBD, but I just logged in because I wanted to just check on like the RIP pass or whatever, and then I ended up finding myself was banned for hate speech, and I don't use anything in the endgame chat. Now that was obviously because of the comment that I had specifically regarding saying that the dev should be assaulted and put in prison. The larger context now that's bad. That's actually TOS. Don't get me wrong. Problem with that is that because that's said on Twitch, it's outlined in behavior's terms of service that if someone does something on one platform, it's not to be transferred to a different one regarding Dead by Daylight activity. So if you say something on your YouTube account, right, your Twitter account shouldn't be getting banned for it. So even though I said it on Twitch, I would be getting punished on Twitch accordingly.
I didn't, on Twitch,
and it ended up correct. Nothing happened on that end. After that, then my DVD account got banned for a month. Again, the ban escalation goes from 2 days to 2 weeks, or 2 days to a week, then to a month, and then a permaban. And I've had no infractions against my account previously. So it was a couple days after I had that, where it went against their own terms of service highlights regarding that, and then I skipped 2 escalations on the ban to where I am on my quote-unquote, I guess, like, final straw regarding my account.
For saying something on Twitch.
Correct. Again,
that was
what
right
I said
after
was
the Troy
wrong.
video, too. That was right after the Troy video, by the way.
Correct, and I was wrong to say that, right? Because obviously that's like an act of violence. Like, it's a call to action.
I mean,
don't get me wrong, like, that's wrong.
Yeah, it's still just stupid, though. Like, it's still stupid. It's like, it's hyperbole.
It's stupid, but it is TOS. Like, I do a lot of hyperbole, but, like, it is TOS. Now, granted, what I meant to say is that, like, it should have happened, like, what I was saying during that stream, which is deleted now, because you can only have 100 hours of your VODs, but I was bitching about, like, if I was this bad at my job that behavior is at theirs, like, I would be getting beat the fuck up for this. And at the end, where I was getting bounced off the loop continuously where I said that, I came out wrong, but, still TOS. But again, it's not supposed to be done against my DVD account. Because I don't use endgame chat, really. Not let alone hate speech.
I've never heard you say anything in in-game chat. Like, even me, a random example, I have actually gotten banned from DBD2 for trapping people in corners, something I like doing.
But you had because it was with one of my previous mods that we had just a little tight-knit server that I remember you joined before shooting AWOL. You got 2 days. Yeah, it was 2 days. Yeah, you had 2 days only.
2 day ban.
So yeah, that's the first escalation, right? So when I had mine again,
actually bannable. By the way, the shit I did it to like dozens of people, streamers. It was actually bannable. Actually, something I did in the game. I knew it was bannable too. I just thought it was funny, and also they were removing it soon, so I was like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna do it." And I was like, "Sure, whatever. I've never been banned before. I'll get banned for 2 days." Yeah, 2 day ban, and then you do something outside of it, and then because Troy makes a video on you, it's like literally after he makes a video, you get banned for a month, like in the game. Your account gets banned for a month.
Yeah, it's obviously really disappointing for that. And
thankfully, it lined up perfectly for you where you were moving during most of it, so it didn't really
matter. It did. I literally had no time that I missed because of it, because I had to search for an apartment out over here. No, I'm just saying. Yeah. Correct. I'm just saying that it was the perfect time for it to happen, but obviously it's disappointing knowing that, like, hey, your account is on its last straw. You always have to just have some hesitancy with the way you act in-game moving forward, because literally anything can be, all the step needed to just, the past 3 years that I've spent on this game leads to a permaban.
Yeah. So.
But enough background on that of how I met you initially and leading up to this point. So.
Do you want to actually get into SWF now and start presenting like some of your opinions on that? Like, because I have a notepad here. I want to, because this video is not going to be coming out for another, like, I have all sorts of shit I planned, but I am going to make this video why SWF is cheating in Dead by Daylight. I have the thumbnail for it and everything. So, like, I just want to know, like, and I'll talk about you in the video. I'll be like, I didn't, think about this much at first, and then Titan started talking about it, and I was like, this is kind of true, actually, so, can you elaborate, like, basically on, like, all, I know you've done it a million times to everyone who joins the chat, you go against someone, and then they're like, what is your problem, bro, and then you're like, you were in a cheating ass SWF, and they're like, how is SWF cheating, and then you're like, well, you see, comms, and, like, you've gone over this literally probably, like, dozens of times, every stream, so,
yeah, but obviously the point of it is to be hyperbolic with the term cheating ass SWF.
Yeah. It's more cheating ass comms, you say, but I just want this to be like the be-all end-all, like every single one of the points you can think of, put into one spot, so I can write it down and put it into that video.
Yeah, obviously the point is that it's not SWFing, it's comms, but it's because I feel like if you want to say something is cheating, you need to have a good groundwork laid out for what you define as cheating. So, I feel like this is a very good encapsulation of what cheating is that you can do in a video game, and I feel like comms falls under that. Again, cheating as SWF, it's meant to be comms, it's just, frankly, it's more punchy. And that's the other reason why I do that, alright? So, typically has all these three things, and I'll go after that. So the first thing is that it's typically a third party, whether it be a software, whether it be a different individual, being that third party, for example. Second thing that typically encompasses is that it gives you an in-game advantage, alright? I feel like that's pretty obvious. I don't really feel like if you're putting a cheat to make your killer go at 3 meters a second, I'm not sure exactly that would be cheating, for example. You'd be cheating yourself. And then the third thing that's really important is that the advantage that you're getting from said third party is not able to be acquired in the confines of the game, or if you are able to, you get to offset an opportunity cost that you otherwise would have.
What do you mean by that? Offset an opportunity cost? What does that mean? What do you mean by that?
So let's say that you had a cheat, for example, that gave you Windows of Opportunity for 32 meters. Obviously, that is base kit in the game if you want by just selecting Windows of Opportunity. However, it's an opportunity cost that you otherwise would have of having one of your 4 perk slots dedicated to that.
So it's like Bond, for example, being base kit in SWF.
Yeah. Now, the definition that I used, that broadly, and it's important to highlight that the advantage that you can get from it cannot be duplicated as such in any capacity is really important, because when you have to have a SWF, for example, when you're using the comms, they obviously give you all these advantages, right? And that framework that I used previously applies to everything that we already consider in DVD as being a cheat. So if you think of speed cheats, if you think of wall hack cheats, if you think of flying cheats, invincibility cheats, everything of that nature that you have, all of my definitions that I let out previously, it all lines up under that, to what it constitutes a cheat, for example. Right? Mm-hmm. Like, if you're using a speed cheat, does my definition kind of meet that criteria? Yes, it does. If you have a wall hack cheat where you can see where the killer is, you can see everything being set up, you can see all the pallets windows like a global Windows of Opportunity, for example. Is that an advantage? Yes. Right?
So, what do you think? Do you think they added proper comms to the game, like a voice chat? Would it no longer be considered cheating? You think? To be
of course not, because obviously it's put in the game.
Yeah.
Like the game is obviously, because right now DVD is intentionally balanced around gatekeeping necessary information from Survivor, and if you want to have that information, it's obviously gate kept behind your perk choices, and you only have one of 4, and that information especially is locked to that specific Survivor. So even when you have perks like Deja Vu, for example, which is obviously a good perk in solo queue, but it's an even better perk in SWF in the context of you can have one person feeding 4 people the gen war location revealing to all those people. The 6% extra repair speed isn't really important. It's obviously the fact that you can break up a 3-gen, you can call at the start of the match, and it's not just you that knows exactly where to go with that info that you can then game plan on, it's that you have 3 other people that are able to work in tandem with you up to as well that you can then plan around that. And you are getting even extra value from that perk. And other people would not be able to have that information, nor could they act on it unless they, again, took Deja Vu. Which, again, comms is able to offset that opportunity.
Yeah, I never thought of that, how certain perks... It's kind of the way that certain perks become way better on stronger killers, like, Pop, for example.
But that's directly related to how... And most survivors, I get mad at survivors, that survivors don't understand that perks scale with the killer you're playing on.
Yeah.
Like, example I use, Bamboozle. Do we agree that's a pretty decent perk?
Yeah, it's a really good perk, especially on, it's not as good on, it's way better on Hillbilly than it is on Pig, for example, because Hillbilly's a way better killer. He's a way better killer, and it also just works with his power even better.
But the biggest example is, like, how good is Bamboozle on Nurse?
Nothing. Yeah.
It's like a meme. It's really like one of the OG memes is Bamboozle Nurse. But that's obviously how is Nurse the best killer in the game, and Bamboozle, which is a good perk, how is this effectively a worthless combination that you're running? But in the context of Nurse's kit, the value that she's able to extract from vaulting faster and blocking a vault is next to nothing in the context of her power.
So you think SWF is kind of like that, where certain very powerful perks as Survivor are just kind of null and void when you're in a SWF and you just have all that shit anyways, like Bond, for example?
Yeah, with Bond, you can just call out your teammates at any given point. You can instantly know exactly where a teammate's going, and you can have people give you extra info on top of that. So, if you have a person that's running, for example, and you just see them with Bond, but you're against a stealth killer like Wraith, they can say that, hey, the Wraith is stealth, he's on me, he's running the main, and they're coming from X side of the building. You now have extra info on top of that from the comms that otherwise Bond would just be normally feeding you. Even if perks are quote-unquote, even if perks are like solo queue oriented for the value that they have, they can get extra added value just by the fact they're on comms. Now granted, most people don't run that, and they can just run perks that effectively are, well, non-info perks, and they give you a statistical buff in some capacity that they then can run, and then offset that by having all the information that is necessary at their fingertips that they can run by using Discord.
Okay, so one thing this guy says in chat, I don't I'm not like putting him on blast or whatever. Like, oh, look at this guy. He says cheating is an act of is to act dishonestly in order to gain an advantage. Talking with your friends and saying the killer is on me at Shack isn't dishonest, it's tactical. What do you think about that?
It doesn't matter if they view it as tactical. I don't know what their definition of dishonesty is, because that is such a broad, open-ended word that it's really hard to have it concretely put down. I feel like my definition of cheating is much more concrete, that gives you a good groundwork from what defines a cheat. If you say what is dishonest, then you have to go into the moral framework of what one person views as honest versus dishonest gameplay. And I feel like you're going to have a much more difficult time trying to suss out what we currently define as a cheat, and having to decide as, I guess, a community in Dead by Daylight define as a cheat moving forward.
Mm-hmm.
That's just too abstract and open-ended when you use words like, well, it's dishonest. Well, I can take the frame dishonest and move it in a million different ways. Now, granted, just because you use a cheat for altruistic purposes doesn't mean that it's not a cheat. Like, the intention of what you're using to cheat for, to me, doesn't matter. In the same way that, like, the effectiveness of the cheat doesn't matter either. Like, if I hacked in a 0.0001% haste on all my kills, consequentially, that's not exactly a statistically powerful cheat, because I know some people like to say that the severity of the advantage that gives you is what defines a cheat. But again, if I'm getting 1/10,000th of 1% of haste downloaded, that's not exactly an advantage. However, is it a cheat? Everyone would say yes. Why is it a cheat? And then you kind of go down the framework of what I outline as a cheat. Does it meet that criteria? And then you can go from there.
I get it. Yeah, honestly get it. So I've heard you go on and on about this shit though. Like, what you have like all sorts of other points though around besides, you know, defining it as a cheat, and this is why it's a cheat. Like, what else? I swear you just like said so much shit about it. Like, what other stuff do you have to say about just SWF in general?
Well, now, obviously, once they add the option for you to see your teammates' perks in the game, this option goes away. But I was just talking about this earlier on stream where, say, for example, you have one of your teammates has Unbreakable. Right now, this game doesn't tell you that, hey, one of your teammates has the perk Unbreakable. It doesn't tell you that they have that perk active as well. So if you, for example, and here's a really easy in-game context. The killer slugs the survivor, goes on to the next person, and you're working on a gen that's 20 seconds away from them, right? If you walk 20 seconds away from a gen to walk over to your teammate, in solo queue where you don't know if they have Unbreakable, you wasted 40 seconds of time that you could have just been holding M1 that you can instead bypass just by the fact that, hey, I know my teammates' perks, I have this info, I can act on it, and now you have that much level of efficiency that you can have into your gameplay. Just because a person can call out, don't worry, I have Unbreakable, I'm going to use it, keep working on the gen, keep cranking it.
Dude, that's exactly the same with Kindred too, knowing that another person is going for the save. Because sometimes in solo queue, if they don't Kindred, two people go for the save at once, and they just waste a lot of time.
Correct, and obviously the time economy is the most important thing in DBD, and you have super valuable amounts of time. Like the example I just brought up is one that is extremely common that you can have in DBD, and 40 seconds of a gen, well, that's obviously 44.44 infinite 4% of a gen that you can get done. Like that's super consequential. That's literally over 2 pain reses worth of progress that you can get done just by having a simple streamlined level of communication. But it's communication that the game intentionally doesn't feed you because the killer gameplay loop is predicated upon survivors not having consistent access level of information between teammates to one another. And again, if people do take info perks in DBD, that info is still confined just to them, that they themselves can act on, not that they can then reciprocate that to their teammates for them to act on as well. That goes into the opportunity cost part again, but
I get what you mean. Like the just being in a SWF lets you be so much more efficient as well. Like just towards you know, the macro gameplay, and also just in general towards just your time on gens, just you're knowing when to go for the save, knowing when not to. It's just you cannot get that advantage anywhere else in the game, no matter what perks you use.
Correct. Like you're not supposed to know if you're on an indoor map. You're not supposed to know that the killer is headed directly to you just because a terror radius goes off. But the second that a person says like, "Hey, the killer's headed on over to you," you instantly can start playing around that. It's one of the most. It's exactly. You can obviously tell a lot of times when you're against the difference between comms and solo queue is just like, okay, the second that the person knew I was headed there, they have no understanding that I'm headed on over there. If I do a hit and run, for example, that, oh, hey, they all of a sudden started running 8 seconds ahead of time. They were on the strongest loop possible that they have, and they position themselves to have the most amount of distance that they can change directly from that loop to the next one. Like, you just see that, and it's just so intuitive. Like, they're not just doing that because they're quote-unquote playing safe. The level of efficiency that people have been able to crank out gens in the context of this match so far doesn't line up. And it's very obvious when that happens. But again, when you have comms, you can just bypass all of this ambiguity of the state of the game and the intents of the killer that you can then circumvent that. And that's a huge problem. Again, that still kind of goes against the point that just because it's a really severe level advantage doesn't mean that it's not cheating, right? It's not as powerful, for example, as like speed cheats, for example, where you have people that are going at 10 million move speed per second, they can instantly pop all the gens.
There's like a level
it's not
to it,
as
it still
powerful.
is an advantage. It's still a massive advantage.
Correct. It meets all the criteria, and I feel like if people were being honest with themselves, if they had a framework for like, what is a cheat, why is it a cheat, people just kind of, typically the common one is that like, it's not that big of a deal. Hopefully I kind of highlighted that, 1/10,000% of haste on killer, still a cheat, not powerful. And typically people just default to, well, behavior said so, but I'm not exactly a fan of might makes right, where people just kind of defer all their agency to like, well, the company said so, therefore it's a cheat. It's what's TOS, but it's not what is cheating. It's like the difference between, something is legal versus something is moral. Like, I can cut in line,
legal and moral. That's a good comparison, actually. I'm not really that one.
Like, you like cut in line in front of a bunch of people. It's not illegal, but people say it's a pretty immoral thing to do.
So what do you think about the whole like you were kind of just talking about the perspective of like it's not bannable because it's not bannable, like it's not as malicious as cheating. Some people just want to play with their friends. They just happen to calm. They're not doing it like to have an advantage sometimes. Like, what do you think about that sort of argument?
Did you rephrase that?
It's just sort of like how do you feel about the perspective that people have against that, where they're like, people aren't doing it to have an advantage. Like, sometimes they just play in their friend. They play with their friends. They're just like, oh, I just wanna hang out. Like, they don't realize like they're not doing it maliciously, like as a cheat. They're not doing it for the advantage. They're just in a SWF, and they're just naturally having that advantage without even kind of realizing it, I guess. Like, they're not trying to. Because when someone can't like accidentally install a cheat, but they can accidentally, I don't know. I like you kind of get what I'm saying.
Well, it's not an accident that like people are intentionally getting into, but I don't care about whether or not they're intentionally doing it. I don't care about the intent of a person doing that. The fact of the matter is that it still, in my eyes, meets a pretty consistent, pretty good understanding of what cheating is. Whether or not they're doing it doesn't matter to me. It doesn't matter whether they're doing it because they're doing it for fun, because they just want to have a good time, or they're doing it so that they can just bully the killer so they can farm clips, for example. To me, that doesn't matter. Consequently, it doesn't change anything. The effect of the outcome is always the same. Of you are not supposed to have this advantage, you are acting on having this advantage. Whatever the intentions of, I guess, the perpetuator of it doesn't matter to me. It shouldn't have an effect. Like, if I'm downloading, speed cheats because it's fun, it's like, isn't it fun to just body block people in the corner? Like, if I could put up like a fucking force field around people and I could instantly trap them in a corner with a cheat, it's like, sure, that's fun, but it's still cheating, It's because I'm doing it, because I'm having fun, that shouldn't factor into the equation. Now, obviously, behavior doesn't have that bannable because it does matter to them, because obviously it's a business and their goal is to make money. You obviously could never tangibly ban comms because, again, it hurts your bottom line. God forbid you have the PR nightmare that you would have in terms of this game being
they can never ban comms. It's literally, even if they did, like, PR nightmare, it's literally just impossible to ban comms. Like,
the false positives as well. How do you prove that someone's on Discord? Again, that's not again, behavior being principled on having an anti-cheating stance. It's just a resource management of where we're going to direct this as a company. It's not worth them to handle this. It's not worth for them to actually have a stance on it being bannable. Hence why, obviously, the solution to this is that you have to make all this stuff base kit. It has to be put into the game. And you see it bared out with the level of escape rates that Survivor have, and especially at the highest level of gameplay when you have the top streamers all doing escape streaks, that you just see the level of efficiency that they're able to do. That should just be a part of the normal game. You shouldn't have a variance of matches where, hey, you have 4 dipshits that are running around with, urban evasion and no mither, versus the people that all have quad DS off a record lithe and adrenaline, for example. There shouldn't be a level of variance like that to where, you can kind of just roll the dice and have a match where it's just a fucking auto win is killer, and then matches effectively where it's an auto lose is killer.
Like, one thing
Again, unless you just play Blight. Just
play Blight. Yeah, but one thing I've noticed is, like when someone like you who's really good at killer, or even someone like me who's just like, I mean, I'm not insane, but I just like bring heavy slowdown and tunnel if I need to, and like usually I still only lose to SWF. Like I almost never lose to solo queue because it's just like that's how much of a difference it is. It's like saying oh, I only lose to cheaters, like it's just you can feel when you're up against a SWF. You can just tell sometimes.
Yeah, again, it's just it is very noticeable because obviously the goal of Survivor is to create such an insurmountable advantage at the start of the game, typically before the first hook, that the killer cannot tangibly come back from it in any capacity. And when you can drop every single pallet on the map, you know exactly where to connect everything, you know exactly where your teammates aren't, you know exactly where you need to go. You have all this info that you can act off of that effectively makes the snowball from Survivors so difficult. That's why, and it's really unfortunate that, yeah, it's just a current mindset where, yeah, killer, you're gonna lose, 2 gens by the first down, just because it's been ingrained that, hey, people should be able to spread out so efficiently. They should be able to crank out a gen in 90 seconds at the start of the match. They should be able to never run into their teammates on accident. They should be able to have all the tiles all connect to each other. They should have all this info that they can act out. They should be able to feed, info to their teammates of, hey, this killer has this perk. They have these add-ons. Make sure to watch out for this. Where you get to all act on. I mean, it's a force multiplier that stacks, infinitely in terms of the value that you can extract from it.
So do you think people should feel bad for playing in SWF?
No, what they should do is that the mindset should be for them is this is broken, it's horseshit, and it needs to be removed. Now, I don't stream Survivor on my stream, but I literally played Survivor a few days ago with friends, and it was just a 4-man SWF. We had 8 matches, and I just did like a little thing in my head where we had a 75% escape rate.
Yeah. When I play solo queue, sometimes I can't win a match in 4 or 5 matches because it's just, even if the killers are mid tier, it's just not having that info. I understand why people play in SWF. I don't blame them for it. It's the same way I understand why people play Blight. And sometimes it's also just more fun to play with friends anyways. Not even for the advantage of not having I can't say that word on Twitch. Not having a bunch of dumbasses on your team. I get it. You shouldn't, I guess, shame people for doing it, but also BMing someone because they're in a SWF is also just really base. I do it too. It's like teabagging a Blight. It's like at the exit gate. You're playing Blight, you should have won. You're playing SWF, you should have won.
Exactly. This is the real thing that I wish the Survivors would have the mentality of is that yep, tough shit, bitch. It's broken. We understand it. Sucks to suck. But it's not. It's just you're a really bad killer, and be like, I noticed that, your bath is running and then, your toaster's a little, not close enough to it.
Yeah.
I just, that's how they always act, that's where I get, all people being I hope your mods get, R word, sexually assaulted, where it's just oh, you need to make sure that you hook yourself, you're a complete dumbass, I noticed that you haven't had a lobotomy as of late. That's where you get all the absolute...
You're just speaking from experience here at this point, right?
Yeah, correct, but that's where it's always coming from, to where that's the mindset they currently have. It doesn't make it better, but I wish it would help. Actually, it kind of would soften the blow if people were just openly about, yeah, this shit's broken, we understand, it sucks to suck, baby killer, GG easy, go next. As opposed to them being like, listen, you don't understand how hard it was that, we held W on our Iria Crows against your Ghostface match. Oh man, dude, that was really fucking hard for us. It's my god, so the pallets were 5 meters apart from each other, not 4.
It's more of a mindset thing, right?
Correct, but obviously I wish that would change because
yeah.
They like to lie all the time. Survivors are very disingenuous as a community in general, so that's one of it where they pretend that this is not that big of a deal. They'll downplay the advantage, even though again the advantage that gives you is besides the point. Or they'll just never engage with it. I will just ask them a yes or no question regarding it when I kind of just lead them down just the dialogue tree of how I get to this conclusion. You'll never get a straight answer. They'll never engage with it whatsoever. Or you get people that just roll their eyes, thought-terminating cliche of rage bait, and then the conversation ends there.
Yeah, because you said that you've never really heard a good counter argument towards it. And I haven't really either. The only one I've really heard is oh, behavior chooses, it's not cheating because behavior chooses what's cheating, and you say they choose what's bannable, which is fair. What have you ever gotten an argument versus your whole SWF is cheating thing that you has actually made you think for a second, like, maybe this guy's kind of right? Like, have you ever had one, or is it literally just like?
Yeah,
I know Survivors are very emotional. They never really think well. Like, it's just like, you beat them, you hump them, and then they see TitanofTheMind TTV, so they just go to their chat and they're like, kill yourself or whatever. Like, but maybe there's been a rational one here and there, because, so have you ever gotten one that's just, like, actually made you think, like, provided a good point against it?
Yeah, about 3 months ago, I got into an argument with people that were defending it. Now, I changed their mind at the end, but they had to really develop, because it was trying to make a differentiation of why filters aren't cheating, but comms are. Because I don't believe that filters are cheating. And I really had to kind of differentiate my point. The third one, especially about how the advantage that you cannot get in-game in any capacity. That effectively, I had to kind of really make the differentiation between something that kind of helps reduce variance versus something that gives you kind of like a new advantage that you couldn't get. So, if you're using filters, for example, or reshade in DBD, you are fundamentally capable of the exact same outcomes. You are able, the killer's red stain is visibly there. It's not like you're changing the dimensions of survivors. The survivor is clearly, if they're hiding in a bush, they are physically there. You are able to see it. It is on your screen. But just because something makes something easier for you to accomplish in-game does not mean that it is cheating for you. I make the differentiation between, let's say, having a 30 FPS monitor and like a 360 FPS monitor, right? You are capable of the exact same outcomes with a 30 FPS monitor as you are 360. Does the 360 FPS monitor make it much easier for your ability to accomplish the things that you are capable of doing on a 30 FPS monitor? Yes. But does it mean it's cheating? No.
But in a SWF,
same thing I believe applies to
you physically play differently in a SWF. You move better. You're more, like, aware, you're more efficient. Like, that's just not the same with filters. They can't change how you actually play in that way. Like, maybe you see the killer a little bit better, but it's not comparable.
Correct. There's nothing that's in the game right now that I can get info of, hey, we are against a blight, that blight is coming to you. Like, if the blight has the undetectable rush add-on, the person could say, hey, blight's rushing to 7. If you're using it for, not every survivor
has the
call
undetectable
outs.
rush add-on, they can say that too.
Correct. Yep, but like, if you're playing Dead Dog and you're working on one of the Gen 6 and one will be like, hey, blight's rushing to the windmill, for example. You could just say that. And there's nothing in the game, nothing whatsoever, that with, 0 perks, just your base kit settings, you will ever be able to acquire that info. Nothing whatsoever will feed that to you. But you have comms, and it directly gives you this transformative-like ability that you have info that you otherwise wouldn't be able to. It goes beyond an opportunity cost there to where an example like that, you can't get that in DBD. There are no perks that are going to tell you, like, hey, blight's undetectable. They're undetectable, You don't get that. But when a person's able to call out directly because, they're on the main building right over there and they can see that the blight's rushing from behind the houses over to the windmill, now you get that. Now you get that information to act out on.
It's the same way that, like, you get no advantage that speed hacks can't give you, running 10% faster the whole match as Survivor. There's nothing that can give you that. Nothing even close.
Correct. Nothing. You have to have specifically that in order to get said advantage.
It's not cheating technically by definition because of the devs, but it might as well be because of how much advantage it gives you. Like I get.
But when they had me define it, when they were explaining to me why DBD filters are cheating, again, I had to go into the part where just because it makes something easier does not mean that it is not, it functions as cheating. Again, it can help reduce variance, but it's reducing variance in the outcomes that you are already capable of with and without. Again, let's say DBD had a massive advantage by being able to have higher graphic settings because you were able to have a longer draw distance. So let's say on low graphic settings, you couldn't see survivors physically more than 50 meters away. They just wouldn't spawn on the map, right? Obviously you can, but let's say that with high graphic settings, you could see survivors beyond 50 meters. Well, is having a good PC like I do, does that mean I'm cheating in DBD because I have the ability to have that? No. We are capable of the same outcomes in that. Actually, we're not. That actually would be a transformative thing. That being said, does it still constitute cheating in that case if I am able to run high settings? No.
I'm kind of confused on that one. So, you're saying, like, seeing being in on the swamp map and seeing Claudette 40 meters away on high. This isn't even a thing, right? Like, this isn't a real thing.
Correct. I'm just saying hypothetically. Let's say on low settings, you could not. Let's say with low settings, you could not see survivors more than 50 meters away because of the game's graphics. But with high settings, you can see a survivor, as long as you physically
can't on a better PC. Like, so, sometimes you just can't, right?
Correct. Does having a better PC being able to run higher graphics settings, would that be cheating? Obviously, it wouldn't be.
No.
Yeah, you're not cheating for having
But
a
that's
better
an advantage
PC.
you can't get elsewhere, right? Just like Swift.
That you couldn't get. That you couldn't get otherwise in game. That it is impossible for you to duplicate that advantage, right? But the important thing that it's in game. That's why I've always said that if they actually want to remove this, they need to make all this info base kit as much as possible. They need to go hard with the voice comms. You need to be able to see your teammates' perks in game. You need to see them in the lobby. You need to see their items. You need to see at all points in time. You should be able to press tab. You should be able to see how much that toolbox is on the Claudette. You should be able to see if the person has Unbreakable active when they're being slugged on the ground or have they used it already. You should be able to have all this.
Primarily as a killer player, like, you really think that, like, you want that? Like, you think, because that would just be a massive buff to survivors in general. But I get it. They're trying to
they have to counterbalance that then.
Yeah. Then they have to nerf Survivor as a whole somehow then. Hopefully.
Correct. Like, the problem right now, fundamentally, is that the difference between, like, solo queue and Swift is, like, say you're trying to bake a pizza and you have to bake it at 400 degrees. If you go against solo queue, it's like baking the pizza at 350 degrees. Alright? But if you go against cheating-ass Swift, you have to bake it at 450 degrees. You're trying to find that nice medium there, but you can't. It's either one or the other. It's just this very unhealthy variance in terms of, like, you trying to just have a normal game of killer. And obviously the devs...
Like, win or lose, my games against, like, Swifts are always just way fucking sweatier. Like, and against solo queue, especially if I'm playing a good killer with slowdowns, I usually just shit stomp them. Like, if I'm on, like, my Singularity or something, which is my best killer, I pretty much just can't lose to solo queue ever, which is, like, you know, it's just, there's no challenge. But then it's like, if that solo queue team had the advantage of a Swift, where they were able to, like, no shit, you know, be more efficient, but Survivor as a whole was nerfed, maybe that would change. You know, games wouldn't be so 50-50 if that were the case. Or sorry, maybe 0 to 100 is a better idea, not 50-50, or a better example, you know?
Yes.
There would be, like, more of an in-between.
Correct. Let me revise that argument, because I feel like I made a poor one. Let's say that when you're having the low settings, let's say it makes it's an infinite draw distance, but it makes survivors look less like survivors. It makes them much less likely to be seen as a survivor. They look like a blade of grass, for example, on low settings. And if you have high settings, it's like, oh, you know, like if you've ever been to the, I don't know if you have eyesight, but you go to the optometrist, you know, it's like the little shades of like, can you see the letter R now?
Of course.
Yeah, it's like that. We're just like, the higher settings you go, the more clear that it becomes a survivor. Like, if you're on low settings, you can just see that person, but it's kind of blurry. It's not, you're not exactly sure, right? It's, you know, it's obviously an advantage that it gets you, but it's not cheating if you have a better PC in this hypothetical that you could then, you know, be able to be much more clearly outlined by having higher graphic settings. So, hopefully, I'm just trying to revise that argument because, yeah, I made it poorly the first time.
Well, I think you've basically given me, like, everything I need for a video. You know, just like I just wanted to, like, fully, like, sit down and just have you tell, like, everything you think about that could be put into a video, possibly. Like, it's a whole video I could mention you and just have these points written down. Is there anything else you'd want to say about the entire topic of, like, Swift being cheating? Because I have, like, a decent amount of notes now. I can definitely make this a video eventually, so... Do you have, like... Because, I just wanted, like, a full, like, comprehensive list of, like... Because I hear you mention them here and there, but it's, like, everything at once, you know? Like, everything...
Yeah, so, the solution is you have to make this all base kit.
Yeah.
Because there's no pragmatism into actually trying to ban this. Alright? You can ban people that, you know, are able to, you know, instantly hold matches hostage, you know, where you pick up a survivor and they hold you. I've had that already happen to me today.
Yeah,
right?
Today, yeah, that happened to me. That happened to me before I even, like, was known in the DVD community.
Yeah, cheaters are fucking insane. Yeah, I've had 5 cheaters in the past 24 hours.
5 cheaters? Jesus, man. Okay.
24 hours. Yeah, I had to merge my Epic account yesterday because the cheaters are just... I absolutely have it hit on me, but now that I have it on Steam, not Steam, Epic, it swaps your cloud ID and it hides it, so they can't get it ever again.
Are you playing on Epic?
Yeah, I am now. Oh, if you go to Epic... I asked... Yep, I asked. If you yourself go on Epic, and I would recommend doing this right now. If you go on Epic, it changes your cloud ID. So if they had it previously, it changes it, and because it's on Epic, they aren't able to extract it anymore like you can on Steam. Okay,
I mean, I'm not really heavily known for my gameplay when it comes to streaming. I stream playing, you know, killer every now and then, but for the most part, I just do shit like this. So I don't need to worry too much about being stream sniped. I mean, it hasn't happened to me yet because I don't play much on stream, but.
Okay. Yeah. Well.
Yeah. People hate me.
No, you mentioned
it's probably a good idea.
Yeah, you mentioned it happened earlier today, so I was just wondering that like previously you were playing DVD before you hopped in. So all right.
No, it wasn't earlier today. It was I haven't played DVD today. It was
Oh, okay.
I mentioned it happened like a couple months ago before I was even well known in the community. Like it happens to just randoms like me, or it just happens in random matches where people just cheat against nobodies. Like stream sniping is like I feel like what they usually do, but doing it against nobodies is like even worse in my opinion. It's like what's even the point?
Yeah, but obviously, again, to like getting like, how do we go from here? Obviously, Killer is intentionally not balanced around the fact that survivors are supposed to have this level of information, right? And in DBD, more so than other games, knowledge is power. Again, like there are so many info perks and very valuable info perks that you have gated behind that comms give you. Like Kindred, not a bad perk. Alert, not a bad perk.
I run Kindred
Fogwise,
every time I play solo queue. Every time I play solo queue, I use Kindred. I think it's really
like
really...
empathy.
I want that to be base kit. They added base kit BT. I think base kit Kindred, maybe without the killer aura reading, but just like seeing your teammates would be extremely helpful. Like, I don't know why it's not.
I mean, yeah, as part of my balance changes, I have a very large like little Word document of like balance changes that I want to see in the game. But one of them would be base kit Kindred, where if someone's on the hook, all survivors see the aura of each other, no matter what. It's not.
You know who's going for the save. Or why can't you just like, if they're not going to add voice chat, why can't there be like, I don't know, like a ping wheel where it's like, I'm going for that save, the killer's over there, you know? Like, Video Horror Society, VHS had pings as well. They had like a danger ping, and they had like a sort of object ping, where you could ping objects. And then you could be like, oh, you know, I saw the killer over there, like, shit like that. And VHS plays the most similar to DVD out of any game I've played, and it worked really well in that game, so... Like,
well, that's because behavior doesn't care.
Yeah.
They don't try. Like, we all know this, but seriously, the last patch, and I like using, like, ever since Septic Touch came out, every patch, they've looked at Septic Touch, and they're like, we love this perk, do no changes. No effort whatsoever. We do not give a fuck about this. They're just lazy.
I don't think that's hard proof of anything. There's so many killer perks. It's like nerfing or buffing Septic Touch is like way less of a priority than maybe making Swift, like, you know, just Survivor as a whole better.
No, it's not that. It's just I feel like it would be normal for the devs every patch to kind of just be like, what's the pick rate? You know, like what's the data on every perk? And like Septic Touch is like a non-existent perk. There's no value to it, and they just like, you know, just leave it there. Like it's a dead perk. Like we don't care, and they don't have to care. There's no incentive
like,
for them.
This is not happening or something, right? Like it happens with Survivor perks too.
You'd expect that with just like, hey guys, you know, DS is back to 4 seconds. If you ever had to use comp scene as reference, yeah, DS is effectively banned. It's ubiquitous in every single match. That's not. It's one of the most disgusting Survivor perks. Every Swift is running this shit. I'm just like, I don't know, guys. You seen Severed Hands on Artists though? Like,
yeah. What the fuck was that? Like, you remember how many people were running DS when it was 3 seconds? Like, it was still like really common on compies. Like, it was. Like I don't even know. I don't even know why they had. You remember when they tried adding the animation for it as well? You remember that?
Yeah, and they effectively got nothing out of it, and it was great. Yeah, fuck it. I remember the bug where, because I played Pig and Myers during the time where it was bugged, where it had different times of stun, and it was like 2.5 seconds on Pig. Man, that was a great time.
It's been like that forever. It was like there was a long time, literally like a year, where it was like a 1 second stun on Spirit, and that's back when Spirit was like literally like almost better than Nurse. Like yeah,
and I remember on Skull Merchant and Pinhead, it was like a 5+ second stun.
Yeah,
it was gross. Yeah, but no. But the whole point is that this stuff needs to be put base kit into the game, right? Because Killer right now is intentionally balanced around survivors not having this info. Like, their expected kill rate is 60%, right? That's their goal. And solo queue survivors are around, like, what, I think it's 42? But that's probably because, you know, solo queue players, they just get the fuck out of the exit gate. They're just like, fuck my team, you know? They don't, like, actually try to help them at the end game. But I'm saying that, like, the whole point is that, roughly speaking, solo queue players are around where they want the average power of Killer to be. That's where it's supposed to be. So with that, does giving survivors more info help? Like, if you can see your teammates' perks, and you know when it's active, you can see their items, you can see the charges on them in match, like, does that give the solo queue player an advantage? Does that give all survivors an advantage? Yes. If I know, for example, you know, if you can see, I'm just trying to think of it, like, if they had like a base kick Kindred, oh, I can see my teammate is going for the hook, I don't have to get off the gen, I know where they're going. You have all this info that you act. Does that make survivors better on average?
Yes.
Yes, it's going to be a benefit to you. Which subsequently, remember, because survivors don't understand that, like, Survivor is the same character. I really like. They were really obsessed with it. Like, you know, I'm pretty sure Claudette's different than Nia because they fucking, you know, I'm a Nia main. It's like, dude,
they
play a fucking skit. It's Survivor. Yeah, we're like, they don't understand. Like,
they're like, I'm T100 on you know, like 40 survivors. Like, no one cares. No one.
It's the same. It's a reskin character.
Yeah.
But go off, Queen. But if you make Survivor better, in general, it benefits all survivors, right? It's not like, hey guys, we buffed Wraith, therefore the Killer roster is better. It's like, well, yeah, like what a 40, but, you know. So when you buff Survivor in general, like, obviously it makes them better. If they are better, on average, they will escape. Because again, knowledge is power, especially in DBD. When they have more knowledge, they can act more efficiently. Act more efficiently, you're going to do better. You do better, more likely you win.
So
it's that simple.
How would you nerf Survivor as a whole, do you think? If they were to give all that info, what do you think would be? Because like just more gen time would be, like kind of lame. Like like I personally would love to just see like a base kit system that incentivizes hooking different survivors. Like the way 2v8 works, where if the killers are winning too hard, the gens go quicker, or if the survivors are winning too hard, the gens go slower. Like, what if they had that for like the unique survivors hook? Like that's just a way of buffing killer in a way that incentivizes sort of healthier gameplay. Because I would love nothing more than the 12 hook as killer, but you just can't versus some teams. You just can't, especially if you're playing weaker.
I mean, you probably don't have time for this, and I don't either, probably. But I mean, I have my whole fucking little docket list.
Your document? You can send it to me if you want. Like I'll look over it later. If you have ideas of does that have sort of how you would buff Survivor in a balanced way nerf Survivor in a balanced way to offset the idea of having built-in shit? Because I mean, people just paint you as like a big bad killer main who just wants killer buff. But the fact that you're advocating for solo survivors just getting so much info proves that you're not. Like you just want the game to be. Oh yeah, okay. It just proves that you want the game to be in a better spot, just like I do. Not along
with comms.
Like just not such a huge gap between. It's like the gap between Trapper and Blight. It's like the gap between solo queue and Swift is just so wide right now. You can feel it so bad every time you play killer.
Correct, and obviously with Swift, the whole point is especially all these advantages that you get exponentially stack on top of one another, right? Because obviously if you're Swift, generally speaking, you're probably a better player.
Yeah.
A lot of times you find that good players are, alright, and when you're a good player, you obviously are probably going to be running good perks. And when you're a good player, you have a longer time that you're going to be going without a health state being lost. The best perks typically effectively amount to you get a free health state. Unbreakable, dying to injured, that's a health state. DS, you go from dying to injured and a stun, that's a health state. Off the record, endurance, that's a health state. Exhaustion perks function effectively as a health state, right? Like all these perks, hey, you would have lost a health state, psych, you don't actually lose a health state. Now you can just extend it over and over again, right? But like the very simple things, one is that VC needs to be optional, right? Like you don't want people to be able to be forced into a VC, but obviously it's an opt-in. You have VC at any given time. Cool. What survivors do need, at least in my eyes, is that they need a base kit version of Bond. Blindness as a status effect needs to be removed entirely. Blindness doesn't affect you at high level. Blindness only exists as a solo queue stopper. Like Knockout is a dog shit perk right now because the numbers aren't good on it. But like the slugging part it was only a solo queue stopper. Like it was meant to fuck over solo queue players. Like that was the whole point. Blindness needs to be removed. All right. Then I believe that when a survivor is on hook, everyone gets kindred. So when a survivor's on hook, every survivor gets to see everyone's aura, and if the killer is within the radius of it, they get to see the killer's aura highlighted. All right. Okay, so if the anti-camp meter is being filled up, the meter is also filling up as well, right? Then obviously I've had ping options as well that you can have.
I really like the idea of ping options, like having a wheel you can do, like. I'm going for the save, or killer's over there, or gen's right here, get on my gen, shit like that.
Correct. And then also I believe that, especially for some solo queue survivors, but I've always thought that there should be a base kit version of Windows of Opportunity of like 12 to 16 meters, because high MMR players know what loops they're going into. The real value from Windows of Opportunity is the 16 to 32 meters, where you know where to chain it.
Yeah.
But that's more of like a training wheel thing.
Maybe it would actually go on cooldown, like once you evolve, just like it used to.
I don't think so, because I believe that... No, so like, let's say you run into a loop, and you don't know where the pallets are dropped. Like, one of the main things is that, like, hey, if I'm walking into a loop, if it's 16 meters, that basically covers the entire loop, right? Mm-hmm. But, hey, did my teammates drop, the pallet at Shack? Well, I'm running over to Shack. Do I see it? If you're on comms, hey, you have that info ahead of time. Now, granted, everybody in theory could be part of VC, but consequentially, they're not going to always. People are still going to be solo queue. But I feel like one of the most important things is like knowing what resources you have available, because a lot of times it is so often on killer that your success is predicated on the failures of survivor and their failure to act with proper info. Like, it feels kind of dumb where it's like, oh, I get it down because a survivor, vaulted a window and then there's no pallet there that they were expecting to play, and then you just down them. Like, it's not exactly rewarding or engaging gameplay. It's just like, oh, they kind of just like ran into a fucking corner. Yeah, exactly. So if survivors have that info, you get to have more engaging gameplay with the killer. There is a more back and forth as opposed to like, oh, you had the pallet, and you know, you have windows of opportunity, like a 16-meter version base kit. Oh, and they ran to the area and they didn't have the pallet. Well, I mean, you just lose. Like, there's no.
That's a really good point. I've never heard you say that before. Like, it would just make the killer experience better in general to have like it's less based on survivor mistakes. You know.
Yeah, because that obviously, if you play like low MMR killers, like you can't force errors. Like when I play clown, it's really hard to force a mistake from survivors because I'm playing clown, right? Mm-hmm. But if I'm blight and I can press M2 and go at 9.2 meters a second off the press of an M2, like you can force so many errors because you just outmath the game when you play high tier killers.
Yeah. So
that goes into a larger discussion in terms of just like how broken the top end of killers are relative to the bottom ones. But...
Yeah, that's an entirely different discussion, but it still kind of fits in
yes.
here, you know?
Yeah. But yeah, no, like, especially when you're on lower, but it gets exacerbated, like I said, where you really have a difficult time forcing errors on lower MMR killers. And again, if you do have success, it's because, hey, the dipshit ran into a shack and they didn't have the god pallet, so you just down them, the end, GG,
All right, well...
But yeah, like, those are like the main outlines that I would do. You have a base kit version of Bond, blindness removed, global version of Kindred. So it's actually a buffed version of Kindred right now. Because obviously if you're on hook, your teammates see all the auras. But if, you have Kindred and someone's on hook, you only see your teammates' auras. So it would literally be a buff version of Kindred. Base kit Bond, remove blindness, 16 meters of windows of opportunity. Because again, it doesn't help you chain the tiles, which is where I think the value comes from. And you can go from there. Like, I feel like those are really good, very tangible ways. Oh, and also you see your teammates' perks in the lobby. You can also see when the perk is active as well. So if you press tab and you see a person in the dying state and they have Unbreakable, if it's lit up, they have it. If it's not lit up, they don't have it. So you have info to act on.
That would take a while to program with every possible perk, but it should happen. I agree. Like,
yeah, just because it's difficult, that means behavior isn't going to do it because, behavior acts like changing their game, like, a kid having to eat broccoli for the first time. It's like, yeah, I don't want it. Like that's
you know what's hilarious
their mentality.
Is we don't even think about how the game has existed for like 75% of its existence roughly without the solo queue HUD at all. Like without like being able to see like the healing or the gens that they're on or like all of that. Like, you didn't even get to see that shit for the longest time. Like, that's relatively new in the grand scheme of things. The whole solo queue HUD is what people call it, but it is just a survivor HUD. And that worked out great for the game, having that. Like solo queue still is terrible, even with the HUD. So, I honestly don't see what the harm would be in adding all this other shit. Like, especially if they're gonna nerf Survivor as a whole and just push the game to a healthier spot. I really agree with what you're saying.
Correct, because like the goal of my changes, because like I said, I have a larger list of balance changes. Hey, if you want to do it on your own free time or discuss it, feel free. My balance changes are fantastic because they're mine. But if you're going to make changes, you obviously want to have them targeted correctly to where if you're going to be addressing solo queue, you don't want to be disproportionately used by SWF. That's right. You don't want to make the SWF better. The solo queue update didn't make it better. When my teammate, I see it. Yeah, when I see that, oh, hey, a gen's at 70%, they're going to be like, oh, hey, the gen at shack is being done right now. Hey, I'm at shack right now. Cool. Like, the HUD updates that not at all, right? If you have base kit on, base kit Kindred, that helps all solo queue players. That helps them massively. Like, everyone's like, oh, yeah, Bond Kindred? Yeah, people say, like, yeah, I can't play solo queue without Bond and Kindred. Like, I'm basically advocating for a lot of people to get 6 perk slots, right?
They already have another one because of BT as well. Like,
correct.
When is base kit corrupt happening? Like, please, like something like that, would be great. Like, they talked about that. I don't know if you even ever back in 2020 they talked about an early game collapse, but that's an entirely like different thing. But they were talking about let's have the early game collapse where the map is darker and the gens go slower and it ends when the killer gets in a chase. Like that, they were talking about that to like make the killer's early game better. That never happened. Yeah, we're almost done. We're almost done. Like basically, I got all the info I wanted. But yeah, this is good. This is good. Like, I will make a video on this. No one else has ever made a video on this. I think just getting your full opinion on it is good. So I don't want to hold you for too much longer. You can get back to the going against the cheating ass Swifts and shit.
Damn straight.
But yeah, I think every time we have a conversation, it ends up like this, where it just gets pretty entertaining and insightful. So I thought having that on stream would be fun, for both of us.
Of course.
So, you wanna kind of end it off here? Like, I pretty much have like, I wrote down a ton of shit. I have a ton of notes of stuff that you talked about, and I'll just work that into a script later when I'm not working on other videos. And I'll get that out eventually. So, I just wanted basically just to go over everything that you had to say about it, just to like fully get into a script. You know, I mean, I already went over that. You get why we're doing this, right? Like why I wanted to do this. Like, yeah. So. All right. All right, well, I'll talk to you whenever. You're in my. I want to join your server. Can you invite me to your server in the DMs?
Yeah. If you just go, to my shit, my stream, it's just there.
Oh, okay.
So.
Cool. All right.
Yep. All right. Cool. GG easy. Later.
All right, GG easy. All right. Yeah. See you later, man. All right. Yeah, that was productive. So, yeah, this video will come out eventually. But yeah, in that case, I think he was just on the main menu the whole time. I think I'm pretty much just gonna end stream now, cause I want to get working on some of these videos, and I want to get back to playing Elden Ring with my friend. But also, I just wanted to. I know it's been like a week since I uploaded. I'll get the top 5 best DVD YouTubers out. I'm working on it. So, hope you guys enjoyed the debates and shit. You know, it wasn't even a debate. It was just 2 discussions: an interview and a discussion with this dude. So, yeah. That is all. This is probably the shortest stream I've done. It's just 2.5 hours, but, you know, I just thought it'd be fun. Alright, yeah, I'm just gonna end here. Goodbye. See ya. Crazy takes from all around your videos. Yep, alright, well, yep, this will be up. Okay, goodbye.